All right, welcome to the Sae Bae Cast number 16 with Laine. Laine, would you briefly introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Laine. I play RuneScape. I don't know, that's pretty much it.
So, you're a streamer, correct?
Yes,
And how long have you been streaming for?
a really long time, I think. Like
Okay,
3 years or something ridiculous.
nice. So, what made you get into streaming? Or
Um,
let's start like what or when did you start RuneScape? Because you exclusively stream RuneScape, correct? Or like for the most
yeah,
part?
and I pretty much only watch RuneScape. Um, so I first started playing RuneScape when I was 9 and played it pretty religiously until I graduated from high school. And then for the 4 years following high school graduation, I didn't play at all. Like I thought I was clean. I wasn't coming back. You always come back. We all know this. You always come back. So after I graduated college, I did end up coming back. Um, because actually I started watching YouTube videos of RuneScape and the two creators I was watching were Framed and SparkMac. And you know how like in the YouTube descriptions they'll explain like you can catch them live on Twitch, and I had never heard of Twitch before. So then I followed to their Twitch and I started watching them on Twitch. I didn't make a Twitch account for ages, um, and then I eventually did. And the more I watched, the more I was like, you know, I could totally do this. I know how to play this game. This looks like fun. And at this point, I had already been playing, but like didn't have any friends on the game at all. And so I was like, I can do this. In fact, I'm going to do this. So it's what I did. I started streaming.
Nice. So, um, okay, how do I I'm always so jumbled at every beginning of every Sae Bae cast. There is seriously if people were like to go back and just clip the first 5 minutes of every Sae Bae cast, it's so bad. It's so jumbled.
Oh
Anyway,
no.
but okay, so I'm curious as so you started when you were 9. Was that because of
Yeah.
like a brother or something? Like I don't know if you have siblings, but like
Oh yeah. I have three siblings.
okay.
Um, and it was because of my best friend's older brother. He got us into it. And actually, I went to her wedding recently, and he was there. And he's a big WoW player with his wife. And he was like, "Lynn, you got to start playing WoW now." And I'm like, "No, I can't play WoW. I can't. Definitely can't." But it was him. He did this to me. He got me hooked.
Nice.
And she was hooked with me for a little bit, but clearly not as hooked because now she lives a normal adult life without it. So,
I remember like as a kid, like I'd hang out with friends and stuff when I was,
hmm
9, 10, 11. And
hmm
yeah, like I would get my friends' sisters to start playing RuneScape. I swear, like looking at it now, I'm like, I was such a legend for just like, like you would never show RuneScape to a random girl nowadays. It's just weird, but like,
Are you kidding me? I would totally show it to random girls now. Like back in the day, I definitely wouldn't, but now, today, yes. I'd be like, look at this.
I just remember
In fact,
having zero shame for it because like I guess I was new to the game because I was introduced to it
hmm
by like cool kids at my school, so I just thought it was cool.
okay.
And then like I mean I
And you
stopped
didn't
playing.
realize.
Yeah, like I stopped playing when I was no, but the girls were always just so into it. Like they were just I swear like this as niche as this game is and as like hard as it is to like convince somebody to play it nowadays, I feel like because there's like Fortnite and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
girls
mm.
really get attracted to this game somehow. I think it's just like the chillness of it.
I mean like I love all games with like character creation and outfits. Like my fashion scape on RuneScape is terrible. I have no creativity whatsoever, and literally every boy I've ever met has had way better fashion scape than me. But it's one of my favorite things about video games is getting to design the characters.
Yeah.
Um, so I could see that as being part of it.
I've always been a fan of like open world and like total custom characterization stuff. So,
hmm
but yeah, I pretty much I think I started when I was 9 as well. I got introduced to it from my 4th grade friend. But okay,
Are we the
so
same age?
wait, how old are you?
I'm 26.
25.
Okay,
But I'm turning
fine.
26 in June.
birthday's in June too.
June 6th?
I'm June 3rd.
Oh, I'm June 6th.
Wild. This is fun. Okay.
Yeah. So you're a year older than me. Well,
Yep.
yeah. But
I'm old.
so what like here's the so I was talking to crap, I can't even remember which guest it was, but basically talking about I never felt like I was a streamer. Like I never felt like I could be a streamer. Like a streamer felt like a different category of human almost, just like they are streamers and we are the peasants kind of, you know?
I I get that. I feel that, and I still feel like that. Like I mean, I'm partnered on Twitch and everything, but I still don't like put myself in the category of streamer. I don't think I'm like that. Like
It's almost like you have to have a persona to like be considered, at least in my mind, is like
mhm.
like the streamers that I always thought those are streamers, like they always have a persona going for them, you know? Like
Mhm.
they'll like be somebody else sort of.
They're kind of like untouchable. You can't really
Yeah.
like you see
Yeah.
them on stream, but never anywhere else, and there's no way to talk to them anywhere else.
Yeah, yeah, for real. That's how I felt. Like that's still how I feel about Bodhi. Or like,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
for
you
sure.
see Bodhi and you're like, oh yeah, he's like a celebrity. You know, you can't just call him on Discord. He wouldn't have that. You know, or you can't.
Yeah,
You
he
know,
wouldn't answer that.
yeah.
No.
So, but yeah, like I don't know. It's kind of strange because when I started streaming, it's almost like there's like I don't know how to phrase this, but it's almost like there's the small streamers that are normal people, and then there's like a certain point where like they become these personified like celebrities almost. That's how I used to see it. Now it's like that line isn't really a line anymore. It's just this kind of blur, but um yeah, you tend to, at least on Twitch, the smaller streamers tend to be like a lot more personable. Like you can like relate to them and stuff. But
Yeah. Well, I think it also just depends on how much a person is willing to expose themselves to the public eye. Like I think those big streamers you see, like they have a lot more inner like there are a lot of viewers, right? And who knows what sort of person they are. Like you only get like a very limited glimpse of an individual. And I think that can be kind of scary. And why would you want to share yourself with a bazillion people all the
yeah.
time? I can only imagine how exhausting that would be, also.
Yeah, I kind of I mean, I'm still scared about being doxxed, but like there's legitimately like huge streamers that like people know
Yeah.
everything about them almost. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm safer than I thought. Like maybe it's fine if people
I,
know a little bit more about me.
when I first started streaming, I was not like safe at all. I didn't realize how safe I had to be to make sure people wouldn't be creepy and weird. And so when I first started streaming, there was this guy, and like they'd find me on Facebook, and one guy found where I went to high school, and so he'd come into the Twitch chat and be like talk about my high school like
Yikes.
life, and he was creepy.
That's scary. Yeah, that's like I had a friend, I'm not going to name names, but he's still a friend, but yeah, he stalked my Facebook like week 1 of streaming, and I didn't even
Uh huh.
use Facebook for like the past 2 years at that point. So I haven't even used Facebook for like 4 years, but he was like scrolling through to like 2009 and stuff on my, or not, maybe not 2009,
Oh
maybe
my
like
gosh.
2011, like just looking through, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm
Eh.
deactivating this because like you're linking photos in my stream. Like I only had like
Yeah,
2
that's not
viewers.
okay.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
okay. And that's what this guy was doing too. Like there's picture like I was on the swim team in high school, and so there's pictures of me in a swimsuit, and like he
Yeah, that's
ugh.
creepy. Okay, I guess I'm just going to go right into it. What is like the difference in your eyes of streaming as a girl versus streaming as a guy? I'm just
Um
like from your perspective, I guess. Like what's the difference? Like or what do you as a girl streamer or what do girls in general as streamers have to deal with that guys
oh
don't
boy. This is
understand
like
or
a
know
whole
of?
huge
I'm
can of
just curious cuz
worms.
like yeah, like I mean, I've had a bunch of streamers on the Sae Bae Cast. We hardly ever go into like stream. I mean, we'll talk about streaming a little bit, but it's just the basics because we don't deal with like weird shit usually. Like we'll deal with trolls, but it's always like more just harass. I don't know. You just have to go into it.
I mean, I think girls get harassment as well. Just in a very
like,
different nature.
I just had to like stop that word because I realized, oh yeah, girls actually get harassed. Guys don't get harassed. We get, what's the word I'm trying to think of? We just get like
I don't even know. Like I don't know. I bet there are lots of guys out there who do get harassed, and we just don't hear about it.
Yeah.
Everybody gets harassed on the internet when you put yourself out there.
Yep.
And it takes all sorts of different forms. But I don't know. I feel like as a girl, like honestly, for me personally, it feels like that I have a lot more to prove. Like there's more of a hurdle to say, yeah, I know how to play this game. I guess I don't know how often you get backseated when you're playing this game. But for me, like, it's a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine. Just guys coming in there and being TOB experts and telling you what to do.
Yeah, and that's kind of frustrating because I'm pretty good at certain things. And, like, I was complaining about this to someone the other day. Like, someone will ask a question or tell me something, and I'll contradict it. And I feel like they won't take me seriously until I use somebody else as like my citation for why I'm correct and they're wrong. Like they won't ever just like take what I say as, oh, okay, maybe she does know what she's talking about.
That's awful.
It's very frustrating. That's very frustrating.
See, I feel like for me, I've never really dealt with backseating. Well, first of all, like, I mean, I'm a very, how do I say this? Like, people, like, I can get along with almost anybody. I can choose to get along with people. I don't have a very strong personality, or not strong personality, but like, how do I am like struggling to find what I'm trying to say, but
you're personable. Is that a good word?
Yeah, like I'm personable. Like I don't have a set thing where it's like if you cross me, I'm enemies with you. Like I can relate and I can, see where people are coming from. Mm-hmm. So whenever I've had backseating, I don't even care. First of all, like, okay, listen, month 1 of me ever streaming, Exact came into my stream. I had no idea who he was. Zero clue who he was. And I don't think most people knew who he was. And he came into my stream when I was doing chambers and he was trying to give me some advice. I'm like, all right, like, thank you. Like treating him like the average viewer. Like, all right, thank you for that advice. It's so bad. Like I almost want to go back in the message history, like see what he actually said. Cause I literally blew it off. I literally just blew it. Like I knew he was right, but I blew it off because he's just telling me what to do. But he's so humble about it, but I just thought he was like the average.
He's so sweet.
I know.
He's such a sweet guy.
It like keeps me up at night when I think about it because I literally just blew it. I was like, nah, like he probably doesn't even remember it, but his first thing in my stream, like he came when I had like 3 viewers and he was just helping me out with some chamber stuff. And cutie. Yeah, and so I like took it just like, okay, whatever. But whenever anybody comes in, I just, I'll take it for what it's worth. Like, whatever, like you're a Twitch viewer, you're telling me this. But I've always felt extremely comfortable with just doing what I do. And I don't think I've ever really dealt with backseat gaming that much.
I would agree. I don't mind like advice at all. It's just when it's something like I know what I'm doing that it like can really get my goat sometimes. I'm just like, please. But yeah, there is so much in this game I don't know or don't do correctly, efficiently, whatever.
I don't.
And I've been learning a lot about that on this Ironman actually.
Yeah, you learn so much on an Ironman. I like, see, I'll watch. So Lake and I have just both been doing Nightmare for about the same.
Yes, like 10 million years.
Yeah. I mean, he's put in more time than me at Nightmare, but like we both, like for the same length of time we've been doing it. And so people will come in from Lake stream and be like, oh, Lake does this. Why aren't you doing this? And I'm like, I'm not Lake. Like I am not like perfect at this game. And so, and
Yeah,
usually,
God tier.
yeah, and usually when things are like, why don't you do this exact thing that speeds your thing up by like 2 ticks or whatever? It's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. I do like that information because it helps me to like understand what's going on. Like that, I love information on what's
Yeah.
better. I don't like being told what to do. I just like, oh, that's cool information because now I can apply it if I want. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's not like a like and like people will get like angry at you if you don't do it the way that they
yeah,
are telling you to do it. And you're like, whoa, dude, just
yeah,
take a minute. Let's all take a minute. Let's just appreciate the day and come back to this. You don't need to get angry at me. And it's 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 hard when people get are
yeah,
mean. When people are mean. Nobody
yeah.
needs to be mean on the internet, but everybody is.
So for me, first 3 4 months of streaming were very awkward times because I was averaging like over the 4 months, I think I legitimately averaged 5 or 6 viewers. And like I started with like one average viewer and up to like
Mm-hmm.
maybe 9.
I think when I would watch your streams in the algorithm mine, it was often to like very, very, very small number of
Oh yeah.
people. Nobody wants to watch anybody mine in the algorithm
I
mine.
tried to go so ham. Like I remember at Lava Runes, like back when I was maxing. This is probably like 10 months into streaming or so, but oh yeah, as soon as you go from like doing TOBs to like doing lava rune crafting for like 3.5 weeks
Mm-hmm.
straight, oh yeah, you see the plummet. And I was like, you
Yeah,
know what? Because I wasn't close to partner at that point, but I was like, you know what? I might as well just get this out of the way because I want to
yeah.
max eventually. And like,
Honestly,
gosh,
people love maxed players, so like you probably did yourself a favor by just like fucking doing it and
yeah,
like,
I had to
yeah,
get,
I'm
and
maxed now.
I was motivated too, but
Mm-hmm.
I will say like, what's really awkward, and I want to hear it from a girl's perspective of when you started it out streaming and then you get
Mm-hmm.
some random idiot that comes into
Oh
your
my
chat
God.
and just because I will still see it to this day. I go into a bunch of different RuneScape streams. Like I'll literally just browse the directory probably twice a week and just
Same.
like see
Oh,
new
I do it
people.
like literally every day.
It's so fun.
It is fun.
And so I'll go in there and then I feel so bad because I go into a stream and there's a guy that has one viewer that's just asking him horribly uncomfortable questions. And I have to leave the stream because I'm just like, I feel so awkward. Like, I'm
Oh
like, this
dear.
is causing me actual anxiety right now to be in the stream and watching this. I just need to leave, which is bad because I almost want to help him, but I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
you're on your own. This is too
Oh
awkward.
no.
But I feel bad because that's the same stuff that would happen to me. I'd have 2 friends that were lurking, and then I'd have some guy in there that starts asking weird questions. And what are
Mm-hmm.
you supposed to do? Like ban them? Because at this point, I can ban
They're
whoever
your
I.
only viewer.
Yeah, like I can ban whoever I want now because I can just treat it as a joke and everyone will laugh.
Mm-hmm.
But at that stage, you are almost like, fuck, this is my only viewer. Like, how do
I
I?
think so. I have always like, okay, another can of worms. I feel like we're just skimming the top of these cans of worms. But I think a lot of, in my experience, um, I see a lot of girls put up with a lot of shit that I don't think they need to be put up with at all. And they just do it kind of similarly to what you've been saying is like you have no one else there.
Yep.
One of the first guys who ever watched my stream, like actually the very first viewer ever, tried to sell me gold. So that was my very first viewer. He's like, "Do you want to buy some gold?" No, I don't want to buy some gold. Go away.
It's always
But
like
I see
worse.
people.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead. I was
No,
just gonna say it's always worse when like they like make friendship with you at first and then they want to sell you the gold because then it's like way harder to just turn down. What if you just said, "You sell me gold"?
no,
It's like,
he
no.
straight up. He straight up. He was
Okay, that
like,
was
"You want to
cool.
buy some gold?" Like he went straight into it, and it's like, "No, dude, I just want to play this game." Um, but yeah, I feel like I see a lot of people. I'm not even just say girls. I'm gonna say people in general. Put up with having viewers in their Twitch chat who are chatting in a way that's like it's not productive to a happy stream, but they feel like they have to keep them there, I guess. Um, and it's just it is uncomfortable. like you said. And I just wish people would just ban people more often. Like, sure, you're banning a person here and you're gonna lose a viewer, but three more like way more genuine viewers are gonna take that dude's place eventually. Like
Yep.
eventually it's gonna grow. It might not grow right away, but
Yeah.
it will grow, and you'll have a better like community for it if you just like get rid of the shitty ones
Yep.
right away.
Yeah, and it's really easy as a streamer to basically instantly tell when somebody's making you feel uncomfortable or not.
Yes.
And like I have been I've made mistakes because people will say something that's uncomfortable to me, but then they'll be like, "Okay, I just realized like that's maybe I shouldn't talk about that," or they'll just stop talking
Yeah.
kind of about it, and then I'm like, "Okay, maybe they
Yep.
understand now." But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm so happy with my community because it's like
Hmm.
What was that,
I am-
dude? Oh my gosh, somebody.
I swear to God, I paused my alerts and I just got a follow notification. I like literally opened it up before the thing, paused all the
followed
alerts.
you? You have
and
to
still-
thank them. You
Who
have to
was
thank
it?
them.
Let me thank them.
Shout out that guy or gal. We don't know.
Shout out Brazil EUW.
Shout out.
Anyway, yeah, like I'm so happy with my community, and I don't even know really how I did it, but like my community's beautiful. They're not. Like, I mean, we'll have banter and stuff, but like for the most part,
Yeah.
compared to some communities, like I'm so happy because I don't ever feel uncomfortable. Like we're all just joking around, but it's like wholesome joking. And
Yeah.
I guess it was just, 6 months into my stream, I started actually I started seeing the beauty of banning people, which I never saw the first 6 months. I was like, I can just
Yeah.
actually ban somebody, and then it feels good. Like I just don't have to deal
It
with
does. It does feel good. It feels good to ban people. It feels good to take advantage of the ignore list in game.
Oh my gosh, yes. And I
Mhm.
learned that because of banning people. I was like, you know what? There's actually a ban button in RuneScape that I never utilized hardly.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's glorious.
Have you ever had somebody retaliate because you banned them?
Well, you're gonna have to. Has it happened to you? Like,
Yeah. I had a guy who got banned and he kept making alt accounts and like would
oh gosh.
and committed like mental warfare on me in any Twitch chat he saw me in.
I guess I had one viewer that was probably the most racist, just horrible people I ever had to deal with online. This is probably a year ago at this point, but yeah. Now he made alts, but it was only for the day. But it really bothered me.
It was only for a day?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then he would start DMing me, like during my stream, and I was just curious what he was saying. But yeah, it was like extremely hurtful, and I think it was just the mood I was in, like where you're just a little bit more like vulnerable to certain
A little
things. But
sensitive.
yeah. No, I was hurt by like what he had to say, and he just kept going and he kept making more alts, and I just ended the stream. I was like, I'm actually like losing my mind right now. Like I can't even focus on the game.
Ugh,
Yeah, he knew how to just pick at the right things,
Yeah,
So it was bad.
I'm sorry.
But yeah,
It's better now, right?
it's all better.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but that's only happened like one. That was the only time I can really think that was like bad.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah, so life of a streamer, it's not all beautiful like people think. I used to think being a streamer was just you just get to play video games, but there's like stress and anxiety that comes with it, and
there's so much stress and anxiety, and I think it's like one of like honestly, I think streaming is a very dangerous like sort of job. It's not a job for me, it's a hobby for me. But for those who make it their job, I think it's kind of a dangerous one because mental health is so it can be so greatly affected by the mood of like a Twitch chat or like putting yourself out there and having this public eye on you, and you having to perform basically the whole time. And if a Twitch chat will pick up on your mood like so easily.
oh yeah,
And that'll affect the stream, and then that's going to affect your mood even more. And
yeah,
if you're not having a good time, it's very obvious. And like and like when you're trying to become a Twitch partner or whatever, like they have those parameters that you have to meet, and anytime you're not meeting them, you're like, oh my
So
god, what am I doing
stressful.
wrong now?
And then you almost want to end the stream early because you're not averaging like a
Yeah.
good view. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I just think it's like a dangerous like
It's
people.
risky too. It's like if like you said, if you want to make it a job, it's really risky. There's no guarantees on anything.
No,
So
not
much
at
is
all.
luck based. Like I'm not gonna say I don't even think the majority is luck based, but there is I mean, at least when you've made it to a certain point, but there always is luck to it. It's like
Totally.
you can't just
And you-
directly control what's happening. So.
No, not at all.
But you can just do your I know. I seriously like I'll just have shorter streams because I'm just like especially with Nightmare. Because like 5 hours of Nightmare,
God.
I am just like
How you
I'm
do
done.
that?
I'm done.
I just
I'm
don't
done.
know. It looks like it's the shittiest boss.
They did so
also,
horribly.
It's
designing
such a shitty boss. The drop rates are shitty. Well, I mean they're shitty because the boss is shitty.
But the
Like, it
drop
might
rates
have been
are shitty.
fine.
It's literally 3 times as rare to see a pink text at Nightmare than it is to see a purple like at TOB in your name. It's horrible.
I mean, it is horrible. And now, like, the drops aren't even, like, valuable.
it's because it's because they're so niche. Like
they're
literally
so niche.
They're so
They're so
niche.
niche.
And the reason they were so valuable at the start was because Nightmare was like it made no sense. It was almost like the cheaper Nightmare stuff goes, the cheaper Nightmare. I don't know. It's like the stuff at Nightmare works so well to kill at Nightmare. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, the boss, like the whole design and the drops and like everything about it is like the worst.
So bad.
Well, in my opinion, and I barely do Nightmare. Like I think I've killed it like 200 times or something.
Yeah.
Like,
It's so
I don't know how you
bad.
did it.
I just and I don't know how I've done it honestly because I did 50 kills the first day of Nightmare release and I was like I'm never doing this again. There is no possible way I could even do this for like another hour. And then I just decided I need a mace. Fuck. So yeah, that would
Yeah. I find it very funny that you're going for a weapon at another boss. Like, I think you've proven to the world, like, you're just not meant to get weaponry from,
I
from
know.
bosses.
Except for my Tebow. My Tebow was 20 KC. That was my first ever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Smooth.
20
Now
KC Tebow.
you're paying your penance and
Yeah.
all the other bosses.
20 KC Tebow totally ruined me. But yeah, any like melee weapon. I just can't get melee weapons, I guess.
No. You don't even have a saying, right?
No saying still.
That's tragic. That's a tragedy.
Honestly,
Like, you're a maxed Iron Man and you don't have a
I
saying.
know. Completed chambers, no saying. Like,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
well, I mean the items at least. I don't have any of the
Yeah.
cosmetics, but yeah.
Do you have a pet?
Nope, no pad, no dust, no kits.
I got a 2KC dust.
I'm jealous. The dust doesn't bother me. It's like because you can literally just leech a dust. Like
Yeah, that's what I did.
yeah, like
basically.
I could legitimately just go in and like fletch or so. I could literally just sit there and
You
just
could. You
wait.
could. You definitely could.
Because it's the same
like,
rate, right? It doesn't matter on points. As long as you hit time, everyone has the
Honestly,
same rate.
I have no clue. I don't know anything about chambers. Like, I can do it and I can get through it, but I just don't care about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know anything.
So did you do chambers before TOB? Well, I
Yes.
guess everyone kind of did. The budget says like teams and stuff, right?
Well, yeah. Well, the only reason that was the case was because there wasn't TOB when I started.
True.
And then when once TOB came out, we did it on release, and I never went back to chambers.
So what are the, at least in your eyes of what you've experienced at chambers and TOB, like what are the, what makes TOB, because I'm assuming TOB is more fun in your eyes, like what makes TOB more enjoyable than chambers? And what are the things that chambers does well that TOB doesn't, if there are any?
I think the thing that chambers does, like the only like room that is kind of fun to me in chambers, and it's the only room I feel like I'm sure I can learn like a lot of like things still from chambers in general, like to perfect how I do it. But is the most interesting in a solo, as a solo player, not in a team. Team, it's very brain dead.
Yeah.
But To me, that's the best room. Everything else is like, okay. It's just like something to get through.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because like there's that tweet response of that guy. He was describing the two different raids, and the way he described them, when I was reading them, I was like, oh, weird. It sounds like just from like if I didn't know about TOB or Chambers, I feel like I would enjoy Chambers more, like based on how he described it. But then when I do the actual content, I'm like, nope, sure don't.
Yeah, TOB is pretty fun. I think the only room I don't really like is the first phase of Nilo. I just don't like.
What do you call it? Like the waves?
Yeah,
in
the
general,
waves.
or
Yeah,
like,
just the way.
okay.
I love the boss. I love the Nilo boss.
You love the boss?
I love it
weirdo?
because there's so
You're so weird.
there's such a skill gap to it. Like you could literally do like 7-way, 8-way switches. It like if you get really fast, you can totally optimize like how good you do it against the boss. And isn't the boss the only thing that counts toward MVP in that room?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why I like that boss, because it's like, okay, this is my proving point. Like I have to like go as hard as possible.
Backwards. That's
really
so bad. Anybody who does like TOB like really does it. Like the waves are the important part, because the waves are set. They're the same every single time. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, no, I think I mean I've done 1,000 TOB like, but no, like no, I know that, and I know there's actually ways to like just speed up getting the waves done because you just kill the spawns faster, right? They like you could speed up the room, correct? Like as long as you're killing
you can't speed up through. Well, okay.
Like won't things like won't another wave like spawn quicker if there's no crabs, or am I mistaken?
If there are, yeah, there's like room cap. There's a room cap on the number of like crabby spider dudes in the room.
Okay.
So if the spidery dudes are less than the cap, then the spawns will keep coming out.
Okay, and they're all the same rate. Okay.
Yeah, if you reach the cap, then they're going to pause on coming out. So people will call that stalling. But yeah, everybody who does TOB, like the preferred part of that room is actually the waves.
I hate the waves. It's so tedious.
You're so weird.
Maybe it's because I never like understood the whole breakdown, and here's the thing about TOB, I never actually cared about the mechanics, which is really strange. I just felt like things were too I don't know, they were like just too complicated for me to care about, and they're not even that complicated.
Wait, time out. You said they're too complicated for you to care about, and then you do 5 million hours of nightmare?
No, so it was like complication that I don't need to know about. Like for example, the waves, I just felt like, you know what? I am never going to try to memorize these waves. I just don't give enough. Okay. I just don't care.
I mean, to each their own. Like,
yeah, no, I never cared about it, and like the other thing is like I never cared about what's the other, like I never cared about I guess bloat is one of them, where it's like I never really counted like bloat's weird because isn't it like if you're getting flied he'll go longer?
I think he has a chance to like keep walking longer.
That is so obnoxious, by the way. But like, I see why they do it.
Just don't get flied. I don't understand.
Yeah, no, but you want to predict it. But then he goes for one more tick, and then after like you start getting flied, then he'll just never stop moving. It's so annoying.
Well, there's a way to start bloat where you start it in a particular way, that you have a very good idea as to where bloat's going to go down for at least the first rotation.
Yeah.
And then like there's a certain range of time that he'll be upright. So you have a very good idea again, like when he's going to like sit down. Like watching a good group do bloat is really, really fun, I think. Because it's a room that gets slept on as far as like doing it well, because it is kind of a sleepy room, but like watching people do it well is really, really fun, I think.
Yeah, no, I remember the beginning of bloat. I got it like down to like I know exactly where he's gonna stop as long as you enter at the right time.
Yeah, you have to enter the right way. Yeah. But yeah,
I love the Nilo boss. I don't know, and I also never liked phase 1 of Verzik. I just felt like the whole thing from like
Okay,
Zarpus,
well,
the end of Zarpus to phase 1. I'm like, oh my gosh, like just move on. Like there's like just There's like just points in There's points in TOB where I'm just like, okay, like just get past this. But I guess that's like with everything. Chambers has the same thing where like you're at Ice Team and you're like, oh my gosh.
Totally. Would you say that you're more of a Chambers person then?
You know what?
You just like both of them?
I actually like TOB. It's so hard because I think I got way more addicted to Chambers when I was soloing. When I was needing items, like, that was fun. Like hunting Ancestral was so fun. Like I went so dry for like I went like 1,000 solos in between my first Ancestral piece and my second.
Holy buckets, that sucks.
Yeah, like it took forever, but I loved it because I kept feeling like I was improving, and that's like what made it fun. And the chance of getting it made it more fun. But now, like, oh my gosh, if I do Chambers, I'm like, I already have all the items. Like, it doesn't really matter. You know what would be cool though with Chambers? Is if you could get these keys where, like, I don't know how this would work out exactly, and it would probably affect speedruns negatively. Without thinking of speedruns, or let's just say you just can't get a time if you use this. I haven't explained it yet, but you could get these little keys. So you could get these little keys. I'm like trying to like say all the parameters before I even explain what I'm talking about. But imagine you could get these keys at the end of a raid, like as part of the loot, where those keys, now one of them can be used to just skip a room. Like, but you wouldn't get any points for the room, but you could just skip it if you hate it. So if you got thieving and you're like, nope, I can't be asked. You can just use the key. You bring in a key to the raid and you just use it on the door and you just pass it. But you don't get any points. And as soon as you use it, you're disqualified from getting like a time, you know, like you wouldn't get.
Okay. Did you just think up this, or have you been like thinking about this for a while?
To be honest, the key thing was completely made up right now, but I always wanted some way to skip a room. Because that's I like literally I'll get to Ice Demon and I'm like, God, like I just want this to end. Like, give me the Ulm already.
Why are you even getting to Ice? Are you scouting Ice?
So when I did solos, this is like a year and a half ago, where I would just go as soon as I see a tightrope. Everything else could be mystery. I'm like, as long as I have a tightrope, like let's just go in. And I was fine with doing any room, but yeah, as soon as you get like Ice Demon Thieving, you're like, okay, this whole raid just like the whole tempo. They've done a good job of like fixing those rooms slightly, but the tempo just is just like, like just move on, you know. I love I love keeping up the tempo, and that's why I want raids 3 to be fast-paced puzzles.
I just would like raids 3. Everybody's so ready for raids 3.
Listen, what are you? So Adicon, when I talked to him, he's a big fan of just bosses, a bunch of bosses, no puzzles.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of that?
That sounds good. Like to me, that sounds like what TOB is.
Yeah.
And that sounds fun. Like a lot of different ways, like his. So puzzles. That's like Chambers, but to me, like the bosses in TOB are like puzzles. Like they're like you can do them different ways to get to obviously the same end result, but you can do them in different ways that are faster or slower, that involve different mechanics, like based on your own sort of decisions. And I think that's really fun.
True. No, TOB is just honestly really quality. And I used to not think that. When I first started TOB, I was like, ugh. And I would watch TOB. When I first started, I was like, this is so trash. I have to go like grind this. But I realized, okay, this is extremely addicting. Even doing free-for-alls at the beginning was like so addicting.
Oh, yeah. After my friends initially burnt from the release. Oh, it was a hiccup. I hiccup and it sounds like a sneeze. Literally every time to everybody. I'm like a random hiccuper.
I was like, bless you. And then I was like, oh, wait.
It's like genetic. My whole family randomly hiccups.
Dude, I don't know if you know Hamzy IRL. Do you know him on Twitch?
I do not. I do not.
I was just in his stream for like 5 minutes last night, and he watched the video because he had the hiccups, and then he like watched this video and one of his viewers recommended it, and you drink a glass of water upside down, like you.
But like, do they actually drink it upside down? Like, I don't know. Can you do that?
So he said, I don't believe this is gonna work, but he has had the hiccups, and then so he like tilted his head. Like imagine just tilting your head so the top of your head
it
is
sounds like
facing
he's
around.
gonna waterboard himself.
Yeah, he basically did. Like he said, water was coming out his nose afterward. But I'm like,
Oh my
but
god,
his
that
like
sounds terrible.
his hiccups went away. He was like, oh my gosh. Anyway.
Well, yeah, because he's like had this traumatic experience. No wonder the hiccups went away.
Yeah, no, it must have just been the waterboard. Just like, got rid of the hiccups. Like his body stopped caring about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I interrupted you. What were you saying?
No, I don't even. What were we talking about? I'm like a goldfish.
know.
Need help. Fuck. I mean, shoot. Can I swear?
Oh wait, no,
Uh-oh.
it was. Yeah, no, we're totally good. This is all marked explicit.
Okay.
I think you were talking about doing free for alls, like when your team burnt out.
Oh yeah, when my friends burnt out, like after a year or whatever, then like I was in the slums of the free for all world, and that's what I did. I did free for all TOB.
Yeah, they're fun, even off stream, like just like chilling. Like you just log in and you just felt, at least when I used to do it. I don't know how free for all TOB is now. I know World 416 like went to shit. Just the server
Yeah,
in general.
if the world were better, and like there are people who will advertise to like hop worlds,
Yeah.
but like I just can't be bothered. But if the world were better, I'd probably do more free for alls. But the world is just such garbage.
It used to be
It's
so
bad.
good too.
Yeah, it's because of all of the instances.
Is that
and
what's
with
causing it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what causes it, is because there's so many people there and there's so many
Interesting.
instances that the world goes to shit. And I think maybe in the same proximity has something to do with it. And now you add like the shooting stars that can occur, and they can occur in the TOB bank, which is such a weird place because you'll just be like sitting waiting for your raid, like your teammates, and all of a sudden there's like a swarm of like miners just like heading in.
That's
Here we
funny.
are, ready to mine this shooting star.
I haven't done any shooting stars yet.
I have because they've been in the bank
Yeah.
at TOB. But
Interesting. Yeah. I kind of miss the free for all vibes. We just go in, run them. But yeah, I don't know. I am a big fan of like fast pace, and TOB is pretty fast paced except for a certain part. But there's always going to be points that are just a little bit slower. Like nothing can be perfectly equal and keep up the pace. But for Raids 3, I don't know if you ever heard my suggestion. I'm just going to say it again to everyone. Everyone's heard it already, but
okay, say it again.
Okay, did you ever play Fall Guys?
I played it for a day when RuneScape was down.
Okay, did you like? But you watched it, like you watched people play it, at least for
Not
like
really.
a little. Okay, well, I would barely go into. But do you remember the mini game where like there's fruit on the ground, like there's like these little fruit tiles, and then it would fly. Yeah, like that mini game.
I was shit at that. Yeah.
I want that in. Oh god damn it, you're shit at it. So now you probably don't want it. But I'm a big advocate for that. I want a super fast paced puzzle that is guaranteed the same time length. So it's like you can't. It's just like you can't be punished. Like you can't get punished by RNG because time wise, because you're gonna get like the puzzle room's gonna be over the same speed every single time because it's just gonna give you like 3 or 4 random memory games, you know.
But you're talking about like wanting to keep the pace, and you're like you can't go any faster. Like
maybe you could go faster.
Itself. That contradicts
You're actually
itself.
right.
And then now you're saying maybe you could go faster, and now you're talking about the Nyla waves, which you also don't like. So I don't think you actually like your own idea.
I want fast paced, so I don't. Okay, let me try to think this through because now you're challenging me, which is good because nobody challenges this. So listen, what if? So I'm just imagining. I'm showing on my screen right now a 5x5 room, just tiny little room, and it's like we're in like a pyramid or whatever, like mummy desert based theme.
We're going for the desert theme because everybody wants it in the desert.
Yeah. So the tiles are gonna be like flashing. You just run into the room. The tiles are already flashing. And then it's going to give like, it'll show like a little board or something on the wall that shows like what thing you need to be standing on. And so you run over there and then it'll like have a little like flashing, like three flashes or something like that. And then all of a sudden all the tiles will drop. And if you were on a bad tile, then you fall to your death or whatever. But
keep going. Keep going.
I'm just trying to think because I'm trying to like form it in a way where it does feel fast paced. Because yeah, if it is all the same time, like, and there's no way to speed it up, maybe that isn't good.
I don't think that is good. I don't really like this suggestion. Not because I'm bad at that sort of thing. I don't mind when I'm bad at something because it gives me an opportunity to try to get better. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
But because it sounds more puzzly like Chambers, and I'm not into that. So
Yeah. I want something like that, but you've brought up, now I'm trying to think how you could like potentially, speed run it in a way, sort of. Like maybe there's a way to like, instead of waiting for the flashing, everyone could just say, okay, I'm on the right
tile. It's
tile.
Struggle. Like Raids 3 would struggle if there's no way to like have a speed run community on it.
Like there would be, like everything would be speed run, but I'm just saying that room would never feel like you're getting screwed by RNG. I guess that is the reason I want it to all be the same.
And that's why the speedrunners love the Nilo waves.
Yeah, but isn't that all, like, unless you go slow, that is the same speed, correct? I mean, you said like there is a cap to make it go as fast as possible, and that's just not stalling it. Yeah, you just
have to work the cap.
Okay.
But like people can go faster in the waves. Like if you go into a 4-man team right now, you're going to go a certain speed and it'll tell you the length of time that the waves took you. And then another team can get a totally different time than that. Like you can make it go faster.
But there is a cap, right? Like to how fast it can go. Because you said like the waves like just spawn, like there is just a certain spawn time.
There is an absolute cap, but like, do people
hit that cap?
Sometimes.
Okay, so like it has been hit, and like that's like optimal.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't really know if they can go any faster.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm glad you brought that up because yeah, I want this kind of challenging thing where it's like, okay, because I want to make Raids 3 amazing where it's just fast paced. You can speed it up. Like that's a room of an example. That's just, it's a puzzle that you can't get screwed over on RNG. That's the reason I like it. It wasn't anything to do with speedrunning. It was just like,
you want that. Yeah. You want
because
a puzzle
what people, yeah. Like
I can get behind that.
Yeah, what people would hate is imagine like Chambers, you go into a crab room that's always randomized. Like, oh my gosh, like you got screwed over, Just like a completely different randomization every time. But I don't know.
That just made me think of the time I was learning how to do solo Chambers, and like I had never really participated in a crab room ever. And I didn't realize you didn't have to like hammer spec it. Like the crabs to make them stay still. So I was hammer specking the crabs.
The crab. I just remember like I still can vividly remember the first time I entered Chambers like crab room, and I was like, this is the most confusing thing I've ever seen right now. Like just what is happening? But it's so simple once you just understand the base. Like
it is simple.
Yeah.
If the whole team's on the same page. Yep. If not, then oh boy.
Have you done Hallowed Sepulchre at all?
I don't have the agility level, really.
For like the last floor.
My hardcore has higher stats than my main at this point. In certain things, like this is the highest agility level I've ever had on any account ever, and that's 77. Wow, Laine. Wow. Yeah, I just hate skilling. So
yeah. Okay, Sepulchre is so much fun, and I want them to introduce things like that into Raids 3 where there's like arrows shooting at you from the walls and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that sounds cool.
It looks really fun. It looks really fun.
And it's like genuine skill based. It's not like, I don't know, thieving or ice teaming or it's just this,
it's like what agility, like what the dream agility should have been from the very beginning. It's like you have to like actually move rather than just click in your character
it's like it's literally painful looking at rooftops now. It's like, what is this garbage? It's literally just like so bad. But I also like the charm of old school where it's just so simple, like the little you just click a rock and you get the resource. Like I like that simplicity. But
yeah, totally.
Yeah, I am just excited for Raids 3, and I'm not, I just want them to have puzzles. You know what was fun? Did you ever do, I mean, I'm assuming you did it, Sins of the Father quest?
Yes.
Did you remember that little puzzle at the door? I can barely even remember it at this point.
No, I don't remember it at all. Like,
But you know that there was a puzzle at the door, right?
there probably was a puzzle at the door.
Okay.
Yes.
There's like this little puzzle, and it was the most fun puzzle. Maybe it was so fun because it was just different and you only got to do it once. But like a little puzzle like that at raids or something would be like really fun. This is my own opinion.
Were you? But that doesn't sound like something you would do with other people. Like that sounds like a very solo sort of like.
Yeah, it would they'd have to
thing.
make it somehow like team based, where you just want a really good team to like just, maybe everyone has to get their puzzle done or something like that. Or maybe you can just like help. I that's the thing. There's just so much brainstorming to this, but I really want stuff to be puzzle based, and I want it to be fast paced and just zipping through stuff. And
okay.
But yeah, the chat and the comments are gonna have to explain to me why I'm wrong or why you agree with me that I want puzzles. But like you said, bosses are puzzles, you know.
Yeah.
I just want Raids 3 to not just be like grinding bosses. Like I want there to be like little hallways where you run to the next boss and there's a puzzle to it.
Okay.
Just,
Okay. All
that's
right.
what I'm
Now I
talking.
think we're getting somewhere.
Yeah,
now
yeah,
I think
yeah.
we're getting somewhere.
Not
where
just
the whole room doesn't revolve around.
Exactly. Just these little things where it's like, oh, you want to like you're running to the next room. All of a sudden, like step on the right tile to like get there, and then boom.
That sounds like what is that quest called? So this quest scarred me as a child, and I came back and conquered it as an adult. Icthrin's Little Helper or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That took me like ages as a kid to work out how to do, but it's making me think of that. Your like hallway puzzles making me think of that, and it would make sense because like if it's desert based, like everybody really wants it in the desert.
Yeah, I love the Soda Seg maze too. I think everyone likes that. Just
the Soda Seg maze is very fun. Soda Seg boss is like kind of frustrating.
Yeah, the boss is kind of annoying. It's annoying because like if not everyone's standing on their like tiles they're supposed to be on, balls can hit you when the melee attack hits you. That's like annoying. That is annoying. But I would really love it. It's just like imagine there's like a little Soda Seg maze just getting to the next boss room. Like I'm just imagining like you're in this tomb and you just have to like click on the specified tiles in a certain way, but it's kind of like the Soda Seg maze where you still have to use your brain a little bit. It's not just clicking on the tiles. Like you can, you know.
I'm picking up what you're laying down.
And that's kind of like Sepulchre in a way, but I think that'd be fun. Just fast paced. That's what I want. I don't want any slow. Yeah, like some slow puzzle room. It's just like,
I'm gonna be total garbage at whatever it comes out when it comes out. I'm very garbage at things when I start out.
Are you like me where you get anxious when an update comes out? I get so anxious. Like when Nightmare was coming out, I was like, I just want like every stream open right now. I want to see what every single person's doing. Like I want to just know everything, but I feel so confined and I'm trying to stream myself to like at Nightmare, I was streaming to like 20 people because everyone was watching Wooks and Bodhi and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and that's a thing. That's another thing. When like new content comes out, like it's almost like you don't want to stream because no one wants to watch you. They want to watch the big guys, the big boys.
I know. That's funny how it works. It almost like, it's just whenever new content comes out, it kind of screws over the little guys. And
I don't think I've ever streamed like new content the day it comes out because I'm like, there's no point.
Yeah. Like when Leagues comes out and you're not playing Leagues or something, just instantly.
That happened to me. It like, I'm still recovering from that, I think, because I couldn't play it at all. Because like I told everybody every single time anyone was like, this isn't Leagues. I was like, yeah, I have a really addictive personality. I don't think you do well in RuneScape if you don't have an addictive personality.
Yeah.
And I'm in the middle of school, so I can't multitask like this. The hardcore is already too much like mind suck.
Yeah.
Can't add Leagues onto that.
How do you enjoy? I've never done Leagues. I just don't like the appeal of something of your progress getting deleted.
Yeah, I don't like that either. Though I admit doing TOB with like the wild like sort of abilities sounded kind of cool.
No, it did sound fun. But that's the thing is like it sounds fun for like a day, and it's like all right, I'm bored. Like that was fun. The one tick blowpipe was just disgusting. Like, it was so horrible because you lose so much DPS whenever you need to move or eat or just like anything. But like, yeah, that was.
Did you
cool
use anybody else's accounts to try it out?
No, I just watched Fudge Shover kill Zora with the one tick blowpipe. I was like,
Oh, okay.
he is just literally sitting there killing this thing in 30 seconds every time. Like, just sits there. Just one ticks the Zora, the snake.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I guess let's go into a topic. I mean, I was gonna ask. I'll ask it after we get into like one topic at least. But so thank you guys for those listening that put a topic in the Twitter thread. I really appreciate it. Keep those coming every week, guys. Don't start getting lazy on me. All right. Box Terrier asks, do you think new PVM content, raids, Nightmare, have too many uniques on their drop table? Let me see if I can pull this up. Too many uniques means more power creep and harder to design uniques for new content. Too few mean less interest in the content. What do you consider a good balance?
So I don't really. This was an interesting question. I've never considered that there's too many uniques on a drop table. I think power creep is inevitable, and that's why we're going through the blowpipe nerf and everything like that. Like it should have been dealt with a while ago, and now everybody's really used to it being a certain way, and so everybody's like, we don't want to change it. But honestly, I think it does need to change. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to put new items in the game.
Yep.
But I don't think the problem with like Nightmare is that there's too many uniques. I think that like getting them is so crappy. Not just like the drop table for them is crappy. The boss itself is crappy. Getting to the boss is crappy. Like, I understand they wanted to like make it far away so you couldn't farm it, but it's being farmed anyway. And now you're getting like these items that are really annoying to get, really hard to get, and they're worthless. Like, they're plummeting. They're going to be so worthless soon. And I think that's the bigger issue than there being too many uniques. Like, I think there's a lot of spots to fill where you can put a unique. And I don't think that's so much the issue as getting to them is the issue.
Yeah, I think, like, honestly, TOB did a good job. Like, I really like how there's just, there's not even that many. There's, 7 items? Just full Justice, health, and 3 weapons. And that was, like, really good. It just feels like, okay, you can't get shafted too hard. Like, Justice sure is crappy. Like, there's always going to be the crap that you get. But, like, it was still good for its time. Like, I remember thinking as an ironman, full Justice sure would be amazing. But it's not. Like, now that I have it, I was like, I never use it. But
like, it has purposes.
Yeah.
Like, or like purpose. Like, you can find ways to use it. And even like they've lasted as like valuable items for longer, I think, than Nightmare. Like, the trajectory of Nightmare's items is going right now. Maybe not just this year, but the other pieces that have more use, like the helmet, people use that for the Inferno. The weapons, obviously, but even now, like, their prices are dropping hugely.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like how many uniques are dropped per raid and stuff. Like, 12's a bit high, but that's still fine, I guess. But like, 7 to 10, I really love it. As much as I think that's just so many items coming into the game, like new stuff. It's still fun. Like, it's fun when you're fresh. And you're like, okay, I have a chance to get like 10 different things. It's just kind of exciting.
Maybe something to think about that is how they treat it in Chambers. First of all, in Chambers, I always feel like it's so much less likely to see a purple in Chambers than in TOB. That's another thing like I prefer TOB about. But like, you reach different drop tables depending on your performance in the raid. I think like if there's a big concern on power creep and items coming into the game, like, you just like shield the more worth it items behind those like larger point gaps. Like if it's a point based thing, I think Chambers does a good job of doing that and maintaining value. Though now you look at an Arcane and a Dex and you're like garbage. Like people don't even split that. People don't split bulwarks anymore. I think that like just value of items is inevitable to drop over enough time. And Chambers has been out for ages. TOB has been out for a really long time too. Nightmare's been out for a long time. Like it's inevitable.
Okay, I have a question. Just thought of it, but so how you've done LMS, correct?
Yes.
And like there's a reward shop where you just do LMS, and then you have points. Would you think that a raid that comes out, like Raids 3, would that be a good addition? Or do you
I know where this is going, and I don't like it.
Do you not like just doing raids to get points that you can spend on the stuff you want?
No, I don't like that. I don't like that because then you're going to have farming issues again. You're taking the RNG out of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's still going to be farming regardless, I feel like, because, like, I don't know. Like, if the stuff's bottable, like, everything's bottable in this game.
Yeah, so any content in this game is going to be farmed. But there you have, like, farming, and you can see the end goal. Like, you know what you're farming towards. Whereas now I think, like, you still, like, you can do this as many times as you want, but you can't predict what you're going to get.
I think I agree with you. I'm just asking because I'm curious what other people think about, like, a point system, because it's probably bad. Like, it's probably bad, but at the same time, it's like, maybe that would be kind of cool in a way to just get tokens, because I kind of like it when you can choose your own things, but at the same time, it wouldn't feel like a raid. It would feel like more like a mini game if you just got points and got. So yeah,
I agree. It would feel more like a mini game, and I think part of like the way it works for LMS is that there's like you have to be better than other people to get a certain amount of points. Otherwise, it's going to take you a really long time to get those points.
Yeah,
like it's not like a raid where there's a set finish and you can do that. You can get to that point and you're always going to get like X value of points. In LMS, you can do 5 games in a row and die to the very first person each time. And then that's like whatever amount of length of time and you've not gotten anything for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's how they like keep that from becoming more of an issue. I don't know.
You know what I'm just like thinking of all these new things. I love talking about like raids and like what could come out.
Okay.
So did you ever play Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid?
I never played, but I loved the cards.
Yeah. I guess I never really played
I can shout out a Blue Eyes White Dragon.
And a Dark Magician. So dope.
Yeah.
I had a holographic Dark Magician.
Ooh, I would have loved to look at the card.
But no, yeah, I think I played it a few times. I had no idea what I was doing. Pokemon is a different level. Like, how do you play that? Is that even a card game you can play? I swear, like, it made zero sense.
People apparently play it. I can't believe it's like cropped up again the way it has. Like, people were like, "Look at this unboxing like thing." I'm like, I thought we were done with this, but now it's back.
I know, bigger than ever too. No, the reason I even mentioned that was because like I think of Exodia, where there's like 5 parts to it.
Yes.
And what if there was a raids? I'm just thinking of like this epic new god sword that's like it's kind of like getting a bludgeon where you have to get the 3 pieces, but it's like a 5-piece set. So my issue with like Nightmare, or it's not, I guess it's not an issue with Nightmare, but there's like a weapon that takes 400 hours to get on average, and you don't get any closer to it. There is kind of an issue, like people don't really like Sire. I loved Sire, by the way, but
I've never done Sire.
It's so much fun. I think you'll love it, but it's also a lot more fun when you have like best in slot gear, because
everything's a lot more fun when you have best in slot gear.
Like claws made it so much fun, but like I really love getting pieces of stuff, and then you can finally like fuse them together. Like I really enjoyed getting the wilderness wards, like going out and getting those little shards. But what do you think if they come out with like a new sword? I don't know if it's a new sword or anything, but something where like you feel like you're progressing even though you haven't gotten the item yet. Like you get pieces of it.
Okay. Like it's just like a little piece of serotonin to keep you going,
Yeah,
keep you
it's like,
hooked.
got another piece, but it's like just
Yeah,
more common because, there's a 5-piece set to it. So it's not just you're waiting 5 times as long to finally get the item.
yeah. That's like I feel like that's like how it's been working with me and these Zen nights on this hardcore. Is like so there's 4 obviously you have to get to like finish the jewelry set, and I go through like huge like waves of depression. I'm like, I'm never gonna get this. It's
Yeah.
never happening. And then you get the little orange guy on the ground, and you're like, oh my god, it's happening. Okay, I guess I'll keep going.
Yeah. I
So
love demonics. I loved them.
no, you don't.
I
Oh my
loved
god, you
them.
are a
And
sick freak.
I even went dry on I went like 1200 dry on my last one.
Oh my.
I went rate for the first 3. I was like 900 KC, and then I went to like 2300, I think, for my 4th one.
Oh my god. I think I'm probably around 450 or 500 now, and I've got 2.
Yeah.
I've
No.
got 2 and a light ballista.
But it looks so nice on the ground. You see the little
Oh, they
Zenite.
look so good
It's
on the ground.
amazing.
They do look really good on the ground.
I like blood shards on the ground too. I got a blood
I've never
shard.
seen a blood chart.
They literally look like Zenites. They're just red. They're like cool.
Oh, okay. I can dig that.
Yeah.
I've this hardcore's been a lot of fun because I basically skipped everything else in the game and went straight to TOB. So now I'm like doing all of this like mid-game content that I've just never done ever. And it's been kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, do you like I actually wrote down a question that nobody else asked, but like what do you enjoy more? I guess I just say like the difference. I don't want to just say that because that's a really generic question, the difference between main and iron, but like what have you seen through now playing an Ironman? And it's a hardcore, but I guess it's still Ironman, but what do you see now that you've played it that you never really thought that you would like enjoy about it, or you didn't even know if it was like part of it?
When I like thought about Iron Man, like before I started playing one, I was like, God, that sounds so frustrating and terrible having to like get everything yourself.
Yep.
Like it just sounds like so much work. And now I kind of really love it. It's like really enjoyable.
It's
And
so
like
addictive.
the more you do, the more you get to flex. Like you're like, yeah, okay,
Hey,
yeah,
you're
I'm gonna say it.
good.
I fucking got this. It's just
Yeah.
this is mine now. Look at me. Look at how cool I look.
I love
So I
like
love that.
mid to like end game where you just go to like Sears Bank or whatever and you see other Ironmen blowing glass or something and you just put on your best fashion, like your best flexiest items that make you look like
Yeah.
garbage, but like you just have
Yeah.
to flex it, and then you have these little flex parties like once a week.
Yeah.
That's
I,
like that's what makes Iron Man all worth it. You get to
The
like
flex parties are good.
it's so fun.
I was running by and I saw this guy splashing. This was last night. I saw this guy splashing, and like I love right clicking people and looking everybody up at
Yep.
their stats. Like maybe I was like a peeping tom or something in another life. It's just I just love looking at everybody.
Yeah.
And I looked at this guy and I always start, okay, so their main account and then this is what they got. But then I like move over like in Rune Knight and I'm like, okay, they're an Iron Man and this is what they got. And this guy's splashing and he has got an Olm pet. And then I move over and he's a hardcore with an Olm pet that is not ranked. And I added him and I was like, tell me what KC you got that Olm on. And he's like, 1. He got it on 1 KC.
Wow.
And to prove it, he gave me his like KC like whatever thing.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
did say 2, but like I mean obviously it's
Yeah.
not a real stretch of the imagination that he got it on 1. He got it with a bulwark.
Wow.
I'm like I told him he should retire the account because he's probably gonna die on his hardcore because it's like a level like 60 or 80 or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're totally gonna die. Everybody dies.
It's like those people that get like a thieving pet at like 2 thieving. Like you just have to never
but
train
it's an
thieving
omelet.
again.
It's a freaking
Yeah, that's crazy.
omelet. Like, what?
How many hours is an omelet? Do you know?
I have no clue. I just know it's like too many. It's way too many.
Yeah, it's
like
really rare.
the pets for the raids are so funny. Like omelet, like not a lot of people have it, but like Verzik pet, like the TOB pet, everybody's got multiple pets.
Everyone, yeah.
On my range tank before I started playing this main account, I had 5, or like I got 4, and then I got a 5th one when I was playing somebody else's account. and on my main account 2K TOBs, and I've only gotten one. It's weird.
I guess they just made it like first of all, I think it's too common. Like,
oh yeah, it's super common. It's so common.
I guess the only reason they made it because okay, I don't know if you remember, but when they were first pulling TOB, they're like, should we come out with a 2K or should we come out with a 5K cape? And people were like, what? Like, stop! Like, that's too many. You know,
Yeah.
Which probably is too many. But
it probably is too many.
They were thinking, and so then they made it 2K, which is more reasonable, and it made sense with the CMK. But like, I think they had to make,
which is also like wild, like 2K CM. That sounds like actually disgusting.
That sounds like hell to do.
Yeah, it does.
But I think they made the pet one, and it's 650, right?
It is 650 on a depth list.
So
Well, yeah.
I think they just made that just so that if you went dry 3 times the rate, you can at least just kind of finish at 2K. I think that was their kind of intention. Because if the pet was 2K and the cape was 2K, it's like people are going to go 4 times rate and have to do like 8,000 TOBs, you know?
Mm-hmm. How do you feel like, so with Chambers, you only get the pet with a item.
Yeah.
And with TOB, you don't. How do you feel about that? Do you like that? Do you not like that?
I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's totally fine, actually. In fact, I kind of wish Nightmare was the same way, where like you get an item with the pet. I mean,
that would probably have made Nightmare better. Like,
yeah,
imagine
probably.
how like you'd have 4 additional items right now, and one of them might be a mace.
Yeah.
One of them.
Now, I just think I kind of like getting the pet from a purple. It just makes the whole pet more exciting. Because like it's just like this explosion of just, poof, you know, like, oh my gosh.
Plus, then you get to create cute names like Bonelet.
Yeah, Nightmare Staff, little Staff, or whatever.
Little.
Like, yeah, no, but seriously, okay.
Nice.
Well, first of all,
that was good. That was really good.
First of all, I hate the little Nightmare pet. It's so sad how that just changes. As soon as you get 4 of them, you just hate yourself. Yeah, no,
that is sad.
I have 4 Nightmare pets, and now they just feel like little Zicks, you know, where it's just this thing is just useless junk. But yeah, I guess pets kind of get their charm from being just super rare.
Yeah,
like that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, little Zick is like the worst pet. It's like
the worst pet.
It's like
so
up there with
easy to get.
Skotos. It's like up there with Skotos, honestly. Like I see both of them as like the same tier, just these like crappy things that everyone gets.
Yeah. I agree.
I do, however, and I'm pretty sure, well, I'll ask you, like, do you want challenge mode TOB? Because I want a little bloat following me.
I think that would be really fun. I'd be curious to see how they do that. It would just be like, I think it would be fun. Probably because we're all just like desperate for something new.
Yeah.
I
just want like a little bloat following me.
I think a little bloat would be really cute. Or the Nilo King following you.
How would Maiden follow you?
Fun.
Maiden's like literally floating with this little platform or whatever. I don't know how that would work.
She might have to leave. She might have to exit her platform.
She's
Otherwise,
just, like,
you're gonna like see this platform scooting along.
Yeah, she's just like crawling, sliming across like the floor. That'd be creepy.
Yeah. Or somebody said a blood spawn would be really cool. Like
little tomato.
A little tomato following you, and like it would be even cooler if it could have a blood trail.
Oh, that would be so dope.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be insane. That would probably cause servers to crash.
That sounds like a lot of work. But yeah.
Yeah. No, that would actually be sick. I think like a little Soda Sag would be awesome as well. Zarpus flying around you. They're just cool. Like those are really cool little transmog pets, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is honestly probably a good reason to not. I mean, you know, I would love to go get a Sanguinesti, but at the same time, it's like, let me just wait until challenge mode comes out, because let's be honest, I'll end up getting a Sang from challenge mode whatever mode or whatever new challenge comes out with it.
Yeah, I really love to see how they, like, if they were to do it, what that would look like, and if it would just be like Chambers CM. Like I would hope that it would be kind of different from the way CM and Chambers works.
Maybe it would be kind of cool as if it would. I don't know. Sometimes I think maybe if it's just
imagine you finish a raid, right? And then there's like a 1 out of 20 chance or something. Well, that sounds like terrible. That sounds like a terrible odd. Like, this is very hypothetical.
Yeah.
I have no clue what would be good. But to do an extra room that's like really difficult, and you can only do it with the supplies you have, and I don't know. Or like a way to redo Verzik that's difficult. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows? I hope they don't. Yeah, I don't know what they could do to make it like really nice and fun and balanced and still rare.
Yeah, we're not game developers.
Yeah.
They are. They get paid for this.
But that would be really cool. I want a little TOB pet, little transmog.
Yeah, I would love a little blood spawn. He'd go everywhere with me.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna have to read this and kind of like see what he means by it. But OZM says, I'd like to hear a discussion on how the game started in favor of not catering to Iron Man, and now the game has somewhat been built around Iron Man, causing a very gray area for certain activities. So I don't really understand the last like gray area. Like, I kind of understand it, but I couldn't like. I understand where it's coming from, but yeah.
To me, I read that as like they put packs of buckets in the general store now or whatever.
Oh yeah.
To me, that's the part where we're like catering to Iron Man mode. Like when we do when content comes in that's done in such a way to make being an Iron Man easier. I guess, quote unquote, or like the God Wars dungeons that are now instanced.
Yeah. No, they definitely make up. Those, personally, I don't even find... Well, I mean, at this point, like, any update is catering to Iron Man, but, like, I think that was a really good quality of life to add those instances.
I don't know, because I haven't done it, but from what I understand, it was, yeah. Like, it was really, really shit, because you've got... Otherwise you have people like people would make the joke that's not really a joke, it's actually like honestly true, an Iron Man world is a free world.
Yeah.
Because like all it takes, like that's super easy to just crash and take because they don't have a chance. And I think the way they mitigated that is making it so that other Iron Men can still like crash other Iron Men. So it's not like you have the whole world to yourself.
Yeah,
but for sure, I agree it's quality of life, but also it is.
It's definitely catering, but
yeah, it's definitely making it easier.
The thing is like, well, here's what I would. You know what update I want that caters to Iron Man? That's totally fair in my books. I want mains. In fact, I want anyone that dies to an Iron Man to get punished. Because I remember being at Revs and, you know, I would ballista somebody out and they would just go back and reclaim their shit. Like, there was zero risk if an Iron Man kills you in the wilderness. You just go back and get your shit because the Iron Man can't pick it up. And then in a minute, everyone sees it. I personally think that all your if you die to an Iron Man, all your shit's deleted. It's gone from the game. It's just the whole pile's deleted.
I could totally get behind that.
And it's totally fair, too. But the PvP scene... You know, they won't have it because their idea of reviving the wilderness is making it more enjoyable for them, less risk for them, more risk and more punishing. And, you know, they only see it their own way. But personally, I think that would revive the wilderness slightly if an Iron Man could fight back and you actually punish that person for fighting you.
For losing?
Yeah.
I agree. I think that would be a good move. If the items were deleted and they didn't have an opportunity, because that follows the same sort of like track of like an Iron Man is a free world, like an Iron Man is a free kill. But I take issue with you saying, what did you say? I got distracted. So
I just get salty over like the whole revive the wilderness means bring more Iron Men, more PvMers, more skillers into the wilderness so we can kill them for free loot. Why not have something that's like more balanced where an Iron Man kills you and you don't get all your shit back for free?
I think that's great. I think deleting items from the game is always a good move, honestly. But I'm actually a proponent for bringing more content into the wilderness, and that's me like coming from a hardcore perspective. I think that the only way to revive the wilderness is to get people out there. Obviously, that's a very controversial thing to say out loud.
It is. Because I disagree with it, but I want to hear your.
That's fine.
Like, why do you think that?
Because it's part of the world. It's part of this entire game that we all signed up for, and we're all like, it's up to you whether you want to go into the wilderness or not. And I think part of like the catering to Ironman thing is making content so it's not dangerous to do. Like, so you have a choice. Like a main can buy something from the Grand Exchange. An Ironman can't do it, but that's also something like an Ironman chooses to be an Ironman. Yeah. So I think like hiding content in a way that's like doesn't take it into the wilderness is catering to an Ironman when like there's this other class of people who like just play RuneScape to be PKers. And I think it's like, I think content should still be brought into the wilderness. I don't think it should be like.
Yeah. And I don't think they're going to stop bringing content in the wilderness. I don't even think that's something you need to worry about because they're just going to keep sending it. But if I would be okay with that, but they need to make big changes initially, because right now I am an advocate of deleting all activities in the wilderness and let the wilderness.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes, I am completely for that. And the reason why is because I want the wilderness to be a barren wasteland where you want to go fuck around in the wilderness and kill people for their loot. Go ahead, be my guest.
People already have that in Clan Wars.
Bring back the old wilderness where you go out there. I would still be all right if there was clue steps out there and stuff, but just get rid of stuff that's like Chaos Altar, like Black Chins, where it's just the meta. It's like stuff like that where it's like, no. Just remove everything and make it a barren wasteland. Delete PvP worlds. Make everyone that wants to go fight.
So you wouldn't have the Chaos Altar like at all in the game?
I want that thing to be deleted or heavily nerfed. And I mean like go from a 50%, what it currently is, to bone save to like 10%.
Okay. See, I'm gonna argue with you there too. I think it's great content to have in the wilderness. It's like one of the only pieces I like the risk involved. Like if you're gonna have risk though,
that's the thing. There's like literally like there's a little bit of risk, but
have you ever done it? Like when was the last time you did it?
Like when I got 1 bill XP, which was like 2 weeks ago. I literally did I did like 4 mil prayer XP.
Okay, and you weren't PK'd at all?
No, absolutely.
Then why would you want it removed from the game?
Because it ruined. It's like coming out with a new skill it's an agility course out in the wilderness that's 200k. I know you're not a skiller, so you would feel fine with it. It was 200k XP an hour to go out in the wilderness and do an agility course out there. Maybe, I mean, I'm just assuming at this point because you don't like skilling. You'll learn to love it with Ironman, hopefully. We'll see.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah. But like that's what I'm talking about, where it's like you go out there and now all of a sudden this is the new meta, and the only reason is everyone says,
it doesn't have to be the meta. It's only the meta if you want it to be the meta.
But
otherwise
it is
you still
the
have
meta because you have to kill like you would either have to kill theoretically, let's just say, because I'm pretty sure what prayer used to be was like 50,000 dragon bones to get 99 prayer. With one update with the Chaos Altar, you now have to kill 25,000 fewer dragons. Like, what?
Yeah, but you still have to go into the wilderness. And if you're really crappy at, like, protecting yourself and not being PK, which don't exist. Those people do exist who are just, like, who, like, probably shouldn't go into the wilderness. Like, just, they...
Yeah. No, but I am okay with content being in the wilderness. That would give a little buff, but the 50% was extremely overboard. 10%, 15% would have been fine. 10% bone save, 15%. People would have still done it. And like, because I would have still done it.
People would have still done it, but they wouldn't have like done it to the extent that they are doing it. And even when you have people doing it, like it's still like, I would say very limited. Like it's got to be worth all of the risk. And, like, you weren't PK'd, but, like, other people get PK'd. Like, there's got to be a lot of risk involved to get those rewards, and there is. It's multi in there. I don't know how you got away with not being killed.
I mean, here's the thing. I have a method like on my YouTube. Shout out my YouTube.
Okay.
But
Shout out.
you just bring one inventory, run over there. You always can just. I literally have a key that's just set to world hop. So I just literally click one button on my keyboard, instant hop. So if I ever see a name that looks like PK, just instant hop. But as soon as I'm there at the altar, I just one tick my bones on there just over and over, and I just have my protection prayers on because I'm next to an altar. I can just have unlimited prayer. And if somebody attacks me, the worst case scenario is I lose like 5 bones or something because I'm just if somebody starts attacking me, I'll just use my bones as fast as possible.
Well, it doesn't sound so miserable when you're talking about it like that.
It's not miserable.
Why wouldn't you? You just have the issue with the experience rates.
Yes.
You think that it's too OP.
Absolutely, way too extreme. And honestly, it ruined the charm of ever making a gilded altar. That was something really old school. It's like making your gilded altar in your house, spending all that money, get your little gilded altar.
But if you never allow new methods to be like introduced, where you're going to be stuck in a certain like.
But it still would have been the new meta if it was just 10%. But the 50% completely made the POH meta obsolete. Like besides for hardcores.
I mean, I don't think that's true at all. Like I go to a World 330 because I don't have a current teleport because I can't be bothered doing anything like helpful in my
mains. Okay, and it did not delete it for mains. That's true.
Yeah, it's overrun with people, and you go into the wilderness and there's like barely anybody doing that.
I don't know.
So I feel like there's a huge discrepancy between.
For a main, and this is one of those updates that absolutely did not cater to a main, and it ruined Ironman in my opinion. Like it made rank 1 quit.
Okay, it didn't ruin Ironman.
It ruined it in my opinion. It didn't ruin Ironman, but it did not ruin Ironman, but it made it. It is a horrible update that is like not good. It makes me scared for future updates. And because like rank 1 Ironman base, I won't say this is the update that made him quit. He's dealing with IRL like now, like he does the IRL stuff, but it's like Lelador literally got 30 mil prayer, and then that update comes out, and that could have been 60 mil prayer. All those bones that he just did so much, spent so much time with.
It wasn't a method available to him at the time. Like,
I know, but he got screwed over because the update was doubled. Like it was doubled. Like
just because an update occurs, I don't think it's retroactively you get to be annoyed by it.
I think if it's a double buff, something that doubled, again, I'm back to the 10%. Make it 10%. Make it a little bit better. I'm totally fine with that. The double, absolutely. Wait, no. Bad for the game.
I'm going to fight you on this forever, I think.
But here, I'll move on to my other point of I am okay with more activities coming to the wilderness, but the few things that need to be fixed. Singles every singles zone in the wilderness needs to become singles plus. Because now... What does
singles plus mean?
So singles plus is what is in the Rev Cave now. That's the new thing where...
I've literally never been into... Well, no, I have gone in the Rev Cave, but not since they reworked it.
By the way, the Rev Cave is like really safe for you. For a hardcore. I'm not even kidding.
For my hardcore.
No, like...
Thank you.
I mean, you could still die, especially to like if you DC'd in there, that would be really horrible. But like you go in there and it's singles plus, so... You can never be attacked by multiple people. And as soon as somebody stops attacking you, there's a 10-second wait until somebody else can attack you. So you can log out between other people attacking you. So it can't be like some guy claw specs you, then his teammate comes 3 seconds later, claw specs you, and you're just sitting there. Like
I hate that.
Yeah. So what current singles is for the rest of the wilderness is there's these things called singles teams, which...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like they'll just death dot and they'll just follow you all the way out of the wilderness. They'll keep freezing you. They'll have like a main freezer and then people just like be specking you the whole time. Like, and you can't see and you can't do anything about it. You can't log out. So basically even singles areas where you would think, hey, I can protect myself. It's singles. As soon as a team shows up, nope, you're dead. 100%. Like, unless a miracle happens where you don't get frozen.
Have you ever interviewed like somebody who's like a PKer?
Yeah, I interviewed Manked and I talked about it. Everyone is a fan of singles plus, by the way. Like most people, the only people that aren't a fan of it are the people that are in singles teams, because I mean, and they're probably even a fan of it. They just don't want to get rid of the current singles zones. But everyone else is a
I
big fan of it, I feel like. People in the comments will have to tell me otherwise, but
okay. Well,
no,
I think getting a range of responses from different types of individuals.
So you don't need to take my word for it. But my whole idea is make all singles areas singles plus. So singles means singles. Like, you know, if you're in a singles area, you can feel moderately safe that, okay, only one person can attack me. I can't be screwed over by a team of 50 that keeps specking me over and over. The other thing... Yeah, go ahead.
Carry on. No, I don't want to interrupt you.
Okay, the other thing is just making it so there is people might think I'm crazy. People might think I'm memeing. I'm not memeing. The Reddit suggestion of making there are content creators that are just, and I'm in the content creator Discord, and people are like, there's like a Twitter argument and a Reddit argument of make an attack option that is, you will not scold no matter what. I want that. I want that to be an attack option. You cannot skull, like unskullable. So you cannot be skull tricked, but you can attack back your opponent that attacked you first. I really want that to come out because...
Wait, can you repeat that, please?
So right now there is 3 attack. There's like the player attack options: hidden, always right, or depends on combat levels, always right click, left click where available, and hidden. You see those?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I want an additional option that's unskullable. So you can attack anybody. The attack option will turn on for a person that has attacked you and like scold on you, basically, or maybe not scold on you, but just has attacked you. So if you attack back, you can't be scolded. To get rid of skull tricking, because currently right now I will never fight back anybody. If I have a crossbow or a mace on me and I'm killing wilderness bosses and somebody attacks me, I'm not attacking back because, first of all, I have crappy weapons for it to even attack back in the first place. And the other thing is I am terrified to death to lose one of my rev weapons that takes like 300 hours to get. And the fact that they can just have somebody death dot underneath them and then like they log out or something, I get skull tricked or, you know, something like that. Like, I just want that to get rid of. Like, I want to feel like it's a fair fight where, hey, you attacked me, let me attack you back. And I don't have to feel like you're going to do some shady shit and have this, your team.
I think you're just being overly paranoid. I don't think they're gonna like.
Oh no.
You're
I'm not.
I am on top of it individual. I don't think they're gonna skull trick you.
I am. Most of the time they wouldn't, but as soon as they realize I'm attacking them back, then they're gonna be like, oh shit, this guy attacks back. Let me try to pull some shady shit on him because now I know he's. Listen.
You're aware.
No.
I don't think you're gonna get skull tricked.
I am extremely aware, and the thing is, because I have been skull tricked before many times. Where I will attack somebody, and that's the reason why I don't attack back anymore, because I don't even realize I just got skulled because it makes no sense. And there's ways to almost like abuse the current skulling mechanics where like one of the things that somebody did to skull trick me was like he attacked me, I attacked him, and I didn't skull. Then he ran out of the wilderness, teleported, came back to me without a skull, and then attacked me somehow, and then he didn't skull from attacking me.
Yeah.
And then I attacked him, and this was within the span of like 3 minutes, and then I skulled. Yes, exact same person. Okay. He lost his skull, and this is back when I think the Clan Wars portal was a thing where you could lose your skull there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost his skull, and then I attacked him after he attacked me. So it was the same person, and it wouldn't have made sense if it wasn't the same person. It was the same person, and he attacked me, and then I skulled. How does that make any sense? And so this is the shit where it's like, you can understand, you can abuse these mechanics of, okay, I understand the skull timer, I understand what to do to get these people to skull on me. Like, this is the shit I hate. And there's always going to be ways to, like, skull trick.
I think you've
had
some really bad experiences that have created.
And it's not just me. It's a lot of the community that just despises PvP. And now, listen, I've had my fair share of experience in the wilderness, and I think I am like qualified to speak on it because I have all wilderness pets, all wilderness weapons, eternal glory, all that shit. I've spent my fair share in the wilderness. And the other thing is, like, I just want that to be a thing. Let me fight back. If somebody chooses to attack me, let me fight back and not be terrified I'm going to get lured.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway, that's the end of my rant. I'm sorry for all those that have already heard this spiel 300 times.
I don't know. I can't really comment a whole lot because I don't feel like I've done enough PvP to comment to have like really formed my opinion. But I'd be curious to hear what people who do PvP have to say. I find it difficult, like your experience of getting scolded that you just described.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I don't know, dude.
Like, you can say, that's the game, but what isn't the game is the beauty of PvP is to be able to defend yourself. Like, if you get attacked, you should feel safe enough to be like, okay, let's have fun right now and let me attack back. Like, you've now chosen to attack me. Let's have a balanced game where, hey, now you can defend yourself. This guy's attacking you. Defend yourself. Because there would be a lot more activity in the wilderness if I could feel safe enough where, hey, I didn't initiate anything. I'm not going to skull here, and we can have some fun fighting each other back. But as soon as they start bringing shady shit in and luring and bringing, I
don't think everybody brings shady shit in.
Not everyone does, but
I think you've had really shit experiences, and I have no clue how you got skull tricked. It sounds like it's. I don't think skull tricking. Like, I think it's like a misnomer. Like, people like. It sounds like it's something that you didn't voluntarily do the way it's described often, but it is something you voluntarily do. Like, if you skull, like, it's because you skulled. It's not because like a mechanic has been broken. Obviously, you're going to disagree with that.
Yeah, no, I can agree with it. I'm just saying, if you want to revive Wilderness and make it better for everybody, not just for the PKers' sake, because what currently is the meta is the PKers have all the advantage. They are geared up perfectly for the situation. They are already skulled, so there's no luring on their end. You can't pull any shady shit on them, and it's completely a lopsided battle. This is what's making PvP so shit, is that it's so incredibly lopsided. And I talked to Mod Arcane and Manked, who's a PKer, really good PvPer, and he was seriously like, yeah, wilderness bosses need to have like a tribrid style similar to the Nilo boss, where you are encouraged to bring tribrid gear, so if somebody attacks you, you're already geared for the fight. Because currently, all the wildy bosses, you're never geared to fight back, and it's leaving this lopsided thing that's just not enjoyable for PvP. And you could say, without this new skull option, that the wilderness is fair or whatever, like, it is what it is, and that's totally fine, and that's what I've dealt with. But if you want to truly revive and make PvP like beautiful, is to not make it so incredibly lopsided, where the person that just got attacked is now at every single disadvantage possible, and there's no point of even fighting back, because like, the dude is fully geared, stacked with food, stacked with brews, and you are like with a Vigora's chain mace. You can't even like barrage the guy. Like, it's so incredibly lopsided.
I get that, but I also, like, you're choosing to do this boss. You don't have to do it.
Yeah, and that is a fair point. I'm just saying, if you really wanted to revive PvP, you'd make things more balanced.
I think making more balanced, or making balancing like choices is important. I agree with that. I just don't know what those choices should be that aren't like coming from a very an upset skiller perspective versus someone who PvPs a lot. Like, there's just got to be a balance between those, and I just don't know how
that's
to get
fair.
to that point.
I will say though, I'm pretty good at LMS, and
you want to go? Want to go, punk?
We'll go. No, but like, I love PvP. In fact, I love watching PvP. I am not I don't want to appear as the upset skiller. I would love to fucking fight back people. In fact, I'd feel very competent to be able to fight somebody back. But as an ironman, even if I kill the person, they just go reclaim their shit. It is so
that I agree
lopsided.
With a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I literally love PvP, and I think it's amazing for the game, and I want it to thrive. But the way it is currently is there's just hatred for PvP and how it works.
There's a lot of hatred, and I think it's really sad that there's a lot of hatred, because I think it's really important. It's an important piece of the game. Like it has its own community. Like there's like the scaling community. There's the PvM community.
Yep,
There's the Ironman community.
I think it's
There's
great.
the PvP community. But I think it's it's not strange that I often think when I think PvP community, like they're like the poorest members of the community because there's no like they don't really get much of an income because of the misbalance, as you pointed out. Like when if they PK a PVM or out in the wilderness, like they're not really risking a lot. Like there's not, so they have no way of making their own income. So they're just.
And that's what, yeah, I know. But when you're trying to make PVM as profitable as PKing, or PKing as profitable as PVM, it's just never going to work. And you see that with Bounty Hunter, because PvP is just impossible to not be exploited. Like when there's artificial rewards being given, the only way it can work, Bounty Hunter can never work. And I talked to Manked and Addy about it, where literally you have to have people monitoring it. Jagex comes out with Bounty Hunter, there is zero monitoring. It's just like botville at this point because you can make Bounty Hunter and it can work with artificial rewards, like, you know, you kill your opponent and then you get GP for it at a trader or whatever. But there has to be monitoring with it. If people are abusing the system, you have to ban them for 2 days, or like you have to do something about it. If they're breaking the rules, you have to ban it. But nothing, there is zero monitoring. Like they don't pay anybody to like, you know, have a dude out there that's like, oh, hey, you're clearly a bot farming this. You can't do this. This is against the rules of Bounty Hunter.
And that needs to be one single person's sole job.
Yeah, like they could have multiple. They could have a team on it, but the fact that they don't and they're not willing to invest anything in it, that's what's killing Bounty Hunter. Is you cannot thrive without monitoring, with like artificial rewards coming into the game. With normal PvP, it's fine because you just kill your opponent and you get what he's carrying.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Wow, I did not expect to like get into talking and like heatedly about the wilderness. Like
I am just passionate.
Really
I hope you don't feel like this is a heated thing. I am very passionate about.
Oh no, I don't think it's like mean-spirited or
subjects.
anything.
Yeah.
It's just like there's strong opinions.
Yep. Very strong.
That's all I meant by that.
But I like it. This is what I like talking about. And you are a passionate enough player, you can understand where I'm coming from. I'm not talking to a casual.
I actually, when I started streaming, I was a PvP streamer.
Really?
But I'm real shit. Like I was real shit at it, so it's fine. But like if you've ever noticed, like my sub badge is a hat, a wizard hat. And it becomes gold. It's because we were the gold hat gang, because I couldn't fit gold hat gang in my CC name. It was only gold hat gang. But that's what we wore. We wore our gold hats and we went out and we would PK.
And your Twitter name is Trains, which was your pure or something?
No, it's a range tank, because pre-EOC range tanks were actually useful in the wilderness, and now they're not good anymore. But that's why it was a range tank, is because
interesting.
Do that. And then I wanted to start tribreeding, but you can't really tribreed on a range because the combat, the melee stats are shit, and it's just like a whole deal. But yeah, I guess that kind of actually makes sense. I just always seen you as a PVMer. Yep. Nope. Started out PvP.
All right. You kind of mentioned it like way earlier about like shooting stars, but Wood asks, and I'm not qualified to talk about this, but you've done a little bit at least. Thoughts on early game shooting stars? I don't know what he means early game. Does that mean like?
I don't know. Is it supposed to get better? I don't know.
I don't know what that means either. Does that mean for like an early game Ironman to abuse it or something? Or there's nothing you can get from it?
I'm not quite certain.
Oh wait,
I know that you get like a gross outfit. But
don't you get like pure essence and like gems and stuff from? I don't know how much you can actually
when
get.
I did it, I think I got 17 Stardust.
Okay.
17 Stardust, and like the outfit, like as far as like I don't even know if the experience rates are any good.
Oh, they're trash apparently.
Okay, well there you go. I don't know why it was brought into the game. I mean, I remember doing it pre-EOC, and it was kind of a fun thing to do. But I was also a kid, and didn't like
I am
have.
fine with it. I'd never played pre.
Yeah, I don't
pre-USD.
care. It doesn't affect me one way or the other. I don't think it's I don't think it's game breaking. People enjoy it. I think that's great. I think it's important that people find whatever they can in this game to be enjoyable. But to me personally, it has no like effect whatsoever.
And I think it's cool to like bring more life. I'm a fan of like bringing more life into the world of RuneScape and just little activities here and there. Like that's totally cool. The Isle of Souls, I have my gripes with it, as in adding 2 elite steps that are just obnoxiously far. But other than that, like I like, they come out with little islands like that and just more places to explore and stuff. Like I find that kind of cool. There's like little chests you can loot, just little Easter eggs, and I think that's just another Easter egg that they brought out, which is fine.
Yeah, and it's like a nod to nostalgia also is how I see it, because it's just like this thing that we used to have as kids. I say that like I feel like a majority of the player base are like older.
Oh yeah, we're all in our 20s or 30s.
Yeah, we're all adults.
Dude, it is strange to me hearing that somebody 18 or under is playing RuneScape. Like, it makes no sense to me. Like, what?
Where's your mom?
Like, why are you not playing Fortnite? Like,
yeah.
But I love the community. Like, think about it. You go into, like, you're streaming. You will never talk to a 12-year-old. Like, if you stream Fortnite, though, you're going to have 12-year-olds in your stream. Am I wrong?
For the most part. Well, I've seen, like, there's, like, some streamers who are, like, children. And I'm really kind of scared for them when I've seen them. Because I'm like, I hope that there's somebody, like, obviously there's, like, there's mature kids.
Yeah.
But the internet is a scary place.
Yeah, you can get taken advantage of if you're not.
Yeah, and like I see adults get taken advantage of, and I don't want like a kid to get taken advantage of. So I just hope that there's somebody there making sure that they're not getting taken advantage of. That's all. That's all I want. Yep. I don't care what people do, as long as everybody's nice to each other at the end of the day. Yeah,
for sure. I've just had seriously, I would have a person. I had somebody come into my chat and he said he literally said he was 13. So I laughed it off and he didn't say anything about it. I'm like, all right, I think this guy's actually 13. And I just,
oh no,
I've always
and you scared him.
Yeah. It was like, cause he said he was 13 and that's such a meme in the OSRS community. Say 13 in May, like turning 13. Yeah. So when somebody says they're 13, I instantly think it's a joke. To be fair, he left and that's probably a good thing. I don't really want children watching me. I don't want to deal with kids in my stream because I'd rather have it 18 plus in general. But
you say that, but then some of the 18 plus, you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, how old are you? Like, honestly, like who's in charge of you? Because you definitely need a caretaker.
Yeah. But the 13-year-old, I just don't want to even deal. It's probably a good thing. I just scared him off. Just, okay, we're done with that. Good. Okay. Handsome Plumley.
Shout out.
What do you think Jagex needs to do in order to curb the burnout being seen among endgame high-leveled PvMers before Raids 3 is released? So what can Jagex do in the meantime?
Dude, I don't know. It's a downward decline and it's not going up. Everybody's on RuneScape 3. We've got the Temple Ross. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't even know. A fishing boss coming out. Wow.
Tomorrow.
Wow. I don't know. Like, I think with the content that they have come out with, they're catering to a certain type of RuneScape player that is not another certain type of RuneScape player. Like, you've got your very casual players, and you've got your very not casual players. And I think for much longer, like, there's been a greater duration of time where the updates that have come out have been pretty much, or at least they feel like to me, for the more casual player. And that's fine. But I think they're going to lose a chunk of people in the less casual player group. And it doesn't seem like they're going to do anything anytime soon to stop that.
Yeah. I
And
agree.
I
It's
don't know what
something.
they could do. Like, I mean, obviously they'd come out with raids 3, and that would probably stop it. But
I
like,
think
I'm
combat
also,
achievements are
well,
going to
I'm
be a messy.
hopeful, but like, they came out with the 6 Jads, and that lasted like 30 minutes
Well, because it's
for a lot.
literally one thing, but
Like, and it was unlocked through like difficult content that everybody had already done.
yeah.
Like, it wasn't like,
Yeah, Six
ugh.
Shads was just giving us a little taste, but the combat achievements, like Mod Arcane literally said, he doesn't even expect the first person to fully complete the diary for like 2 months. Like it is a
But
lot
they've
of
said that
content.
about the Inferno. Like, they've said like it would take time to complete the Inferno and take time to complete TOB, and the Inferno was completed in like 3 days after release, and TOB was like maximum like 4 days. I think it was completed on a Friday after it was released.
Yeah,
It was just like,
all I know is like there's actual stuff to do in like it's not just
but
complete one thing. It's like there's like
I hope
legitimate
I
time,
hope it's like things that are involved, and it's not
just
like
arbitrary.
impossible,
Yeah.
like an impossible feat,
Okay.
like
No, yeah, no.
the
Mod Arcane was saying he doesn't feel like it's impossible, but he feels like it'll just take a lot of some things will take a lot of resets. He says like TOB
I
perfect TOBs where your teammate like cannot take up like a blood spawn or something like just no
I
mistakes.
I feel like that's not going to take that long, honestly,
Well, you're just
for
talented
certain groups
then.
of people. Well, no, I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about other people.
Yeah.
Like, I think that they underestimate
Yeah,
those
they just want to
communities.
make it
The
so
people who
Grandmaster is
like,
not like insane where like one person
yeah,
only
it's
Wooks can do it.
achievable. But then again, I think it's more so catered towards the casual player than the less casual player in that sense. If like, because it's something they can aspire to, but I don't think that it's something that will be very particularly difficult for somebody who like does that content.
Yeah. No, for sure, but there's so
But
much
I could be talking
variety.
out of my ass. We're gonna find out.
There's so
Who
much
knows?
variety like because I
Hmm.
think of the Inferno. Like, there's so much variety to like what you're going to be doing. Like, there's going to be God Wars related stuff, TOB, Nightmare, Chambers, Inferno. Like, there's so many things where like
Hmm.
people that are amazing at Inferno, I think like people that can do sub 50s, which is like what the fuck, like that's so crazy
Yeah,
to me. Is like yeah, they're gonna now have to do Flick Bandos or do
and
Sarah, do
that's
Arma.
that's like what they I don't know if you're familiar with Oblivion or whatever, but they have like their
Yeah,
diary.
yeah, yeah.
It sounds a lot like that, and there are people who have already done like these things who are very competent at every aspect of the game, like hugely so. And they've already got people, like a number of people who have done that sort of thing. So that's why I think it's not gonna like it isn't gonna take as long as
Yeah. And it
they
does
hope it'll take.
I
Like,
just
I feel like
think
they're hoping it won't take. It'll take a while, but I think it's gonna take less time than they think.
I mean, yeah, no, but the whole point is just like this will tide the majority of the player base over for a long time
But I think
before
that
raids three.
majority is the more casual player.
Eh, I don't know. Like,
Again, I could be talking out of my ass.
yeah,
I hope I am.
I think it's gonna be a huge, just. It's gonna be like a breath of fresh air to get that new diary out because it's just like stuff you can work toward, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
very tough. The Grandmaster is gonna be really tough, but it's gonna be possible. You're just gonna have to have a really good team for certain aspects. Gonna have to take a lot of practice and certain things. So I think
I
it's gonna
hope
be.
you're
I think
right.
it's gonna tide over a lot of people. That's my
Maybe I'm
opinion.
just being super freaking cynical.
Yeah, I might be talking on my ass too. Who knows? Both just
Who
talking out of our
knows?
asses.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I trust Mod Arcane and Mod Husky though. They're great J mods. So I
Okay.
trust that they're gonna come out with good things, and they're involving the community and all this. So
Okay. I don't know Mod Arcane at all, and I only know a little bit about Mod Husky, but
they're
I think
awesome.
it's kind of biased.
They're both
Okay.
maxed Ironmen, and they're both have Inferno. Like Arcane's done like 40 Infernos or 50 Infernos or something. Like they know what they're talking about with a lot of things.
Okay.
Anyway, but yeah, that's personally like that's how I see it. I'm gonna take a short break and go pee. I don't know if you
Okay.
need to, but yeah, I'm going
I
to.
guess I can. Yeah, I
Okay.
can.
Well, I'll be back in like a minute.
All right, me too.
All right. Welcome back.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Let's see. Goes Dry asks, "What is your favorite pet and why is it Four Little Nightmares?" So it's definitely not my favorite. My favorite pet actually is the Nibbler pet. I don't have it. I wish I did, but
I have it.
you have it. What KC did you
I
get?
have. I got it on 8.
That's so nice. I
I got
still
it.
have a chance to get it on 8. I'm only 4 KC.
Oh, I got it on 8, and I always said after I got it, I'd definitely go back to the Inferno just so I could improve my time. And it turns out once you get it, you burn pretty hard. Like,
Yeah.
but I have a task right now. And I got it like 6 months ago or something. 7 months ago. I don't know. And I still haven't gone back. But
Yeah.
I really want to because I want to. I actually want to train my Slayer on my main account for the combat achievements because I heard like you have to have like certain Slayer level, or at least I heard that. And so now I'm gonna try to do that because I've got like 80 Slayer.
Yeah. Probably 95. Probably got to do something with Hydra.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. So Nibbler is actually my favorite, but I also really love the Jad pet, which I also have.
Which one?
And
Transmog or the normal one?
Well, okay, so before I knew about the Nibbler, like before that came out, Jad was my favorite because I thought he was so cute. He's so pink and blocky and adorable. And then the Transmog came out, and I love that one too because I love toes, and he's so cute. So I love him, and I love Jad, and I love Nibbler, and I've got both, and I've got the Transmog, so we're set.
What KC for the Jad pet?
I'm a spoon for both the Nibbler and the Jad pet. I got it on 3.
That's nice. Yeah, Jad pet. I think. I mean, the reason I want the Jad pet now is for the Transmog, but I think the original actually looks better. It's just cooler.
I like that. I just love the pink blockiness.
Yeah, that's
of the original. And I've got a little figurine of the pink blocky Jad, and I don't know if you saw like the hype on Twitter about Witchy's plush nibblers, but I've got one of those too.
Those look cool.
So I'm a fan. They're so cute.
I used to be into stuffed animals when I was like a kid. I had a bunch of I probably had like 20 stuffed animals when I was like 9.
Yeah.
But
Cute.
yeah, no, I really like the Chad pet. Who was it? Somebody in my chat was just saying they really wanted like the little yellow major or like the little like orange major at the very end, like right before you kill
Okay,
Chad.
yeah.
I want that to be a transmog, that little orange guy. The little
Oh.
yellow major. I want that to be a little transmog. I love how those majors look. They're just so simple. They're just like simple art. Just truly old school
Yeah, very old
monsters.
school.
Yeah, I like it.
Very classically old.
Yeah. Yeah, my favorite pet is Nibbler, and then it goes Transmog, Omelette, and probably Vespiel is my favorite. I like the little bug.
The bug is cute. I've got the dust, which I got on 2, and I'm having
You're
spooned.
so spoony, but you don't have a pet
I'm a
yet.
spoon on the adult looking pets.
Yeah.
But I don't have an omelet. I have only done like 80 chambers on my main account though.
Yeah, I
I don't
like
like
that.
it.
And then I like Vedian pet.
Okay, he's cool. He reminds me of a marionette.
Yeah, he does. I really like small pets.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not a huge fan of KQ or Penance Queen, just giant things.
Oh, I love the KQ pet.
I'd still like it, but I like the small. I love Kraken. Like, whenever it's Christmas time, I bring out my Kraken because it's super mini and it's got a Santa
He's
hat.
adorable. He is adorable.
But my 4 Nightmares, I liked Nightmare when I first got it. Now I'm just like, oh, no. Yeah. Okay. Adam asks, I don't know what this means. You're going to have to tell me. Is this your dog? On a scale of 10 out of 10 to 10, how much of the goodest girl is Maple? Is Maple your dog?
Maple is my dog.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah, she's my dog. She just turned 4. She is the best girl, the absolute best girl. Everybody's going to say that about their dog, as they should. And Maple is no different from that. She's the absolute best girl, and I am so lucky to have her in my life.
That's awesome. So a scale of 10 to 10?
Oh, she exceeds the scale.
Damn.
Like they're no scale can contain her. She's the best little pup. Lately, and by lately I mean for the last few months, like at bedtime, right? She likes to go to sleep at 9, and she has a bed underneath my desk. And she'll sleep down there, and I'll be like, okay, Maple, we have to go to bed. And what she'll do is she'll stand up and she'll come lean against me and lift up one of her front paws because she's asking to be carried to bed because she doesn't want to carry herself to bed. And she'll just keep leaning with her paw in the air, and she'll lift it back up if I don't pick her up right away. She's like, hello, I'm ready to go to bed. You need to carry me, though. I'm definitely not walking myself.
I've never had a dog. Is that sad?
Never?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
So
they're the best.
It's like sad in a way because, well, I guess I'm not going to talk about my own like problems, but like, yeah, well, first of all, I'm allergic to cats, and I think cats are cuter than like if I were to have a cat or dog, I'd want to have a cat, but because I'm allergic. Okay.
I am also allergic to cats, and I live with 2.
Oh gosh, yeah, I can't do that.
It's pretty miserable.
Yeah, but nope. I know you just have to take allergy medicine, I'm assuming. But yeah, I am. Or are your allergies not that bad?
No, they're pretty bad.
Okay.
And actually, my dog is allergic to cats too.
Oh, geez.
So like, she has like constant like, she's okay. Like she gets along with the cats, and I think we're at a point now where everybody kind of has their own space, and so it's better contained.
Yeah.
But the cats used to like sneak into my room and lay on my bed, and that was a big problem because I couldn't breathe then when I would go to sleep.
Yep. But dogs, like, seriously, I just never was around them growing up because I never had a dog. And so, you know how dogs love strangers and they'll just, like, sniff their crotch and stuff?
Some dogs will, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my first experiences with dogs is loud barking when I was a child. I think it traumatized me. And then just running up to me and licking me and sniffing me and stuff. And I wasn't about it.
Hi.
I like cats.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
You don't have to like Yeah, you're allowed to feel that way. Even
And I
if it's
hate it
wrong.
because everyone thinks their dogs are amazing, and then they're like, "Isn't my dog the cutest?" And I'm like, honestly, it's really sad, but yeah, I'm just not a big
You're not a
dog
dog
person.
guy. That's
Yeah.
okay. You're wrong.
Well, I'm
but
glad
that's
you say
okay.
that's okay because some people say that's not
No,
acceptable.
it's totally okay. Totally okay.
Now I feel better about it.
Yeah, you should.
Okay, Hootie Tootie asks, "What is your favorite flavor of Pop-Tart, and is it a good idea to eat a raw Pop-Tart?"
He asked that because we talked about it when I was streaming the other day. Because I have strong feelings about Pop-Tarts.
Okay,
First of
let's hear
all,
it.
best flavor, brown cinnamon sugar.
Nope.
Obviously.
No, you're already wrong.
What?
Strawberry.
I'm
It's just
sorry.
original.
We're gonna end the call now.
Original.
Like, this is just...
You're like my brothers. They just love Oreo flavor, brown sugar. No. You just gotta get the
brown
fruit.
cinnamon
Original
sugar
fruit.
is the best. It is the best.
Okay.
And it is unacceptable to eat a raw Pop-Tart. It must be heated up
Really?
in the toaster. Yeah.
Wow.
If you're eating a raw Pop-Tart, you're a serial killer, and you can't convince me otherwise.
Well,
I stand on this.
okay, here's my opinion. My opinion is the fruit flavors are always the best, and the original strawberry is great.
Okay.
Now, I don't have a problem with brown sugar, but when people say those are the best ones, I just no, they're not.
They are. When you go to a foreign country, there's oftentimes, like, I don't know if you've ever been to Rune Fest. I've been like 3 times.
No, that sounds fun.
It is a lot of fun. I've had a great time every time. And I've seen, like, we were talking earlier about, like, streamers and, like, them being, like, kind of unapproachable. And turns out they're just normal people. Like, the first time I saw Framed, I gave him a hug. It was so fun.
Aw.
But
So that's
what
why
was I
you
gonna say?
disagree with all my PvP points, because no, I'm kidding. Framed is like the
Jesus
Framed is like,
Christ.
and I want to get Framed on the Sae Bae Cast. I like the guy, but we have opposing views toward PvP, so I was just curious.
Yeah. I feel how I feel about about PvP in the wilderness because that's how I feel about it.
That's good. I was just memeing. But yeah.
Okay. No problem. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
But
they are approachable. Celebrity streamers are just approachable. They're normal people.
Yeah, normal people. Very normal people. But there are American aisles. Like, you know how, like, in the grocery store here, you'll have, like, Spanish aisle or Chinese aisle, or at least I've seen them. I don't know if you have. They have American aisles, and the Pop-Tart flavor that is most frequently found that I have seen is brown cinnamon sugar. Why? Because it's objectively the best.
I mean,
strawberry is a good secondary option if you have to go there, but brown cinnamon sugar.
Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna have to agree to disagree. But
I can't believe you brought that out here about the Pop-Tarts and not about the PvP. Wow.
Well, I just feel like my opinions on PvP aren't official. I'm still learning, and I don't ever want to have a cemented view on anything. I'd like to be fluid with my views. If something comes out that just makes more sense and it's just true or something, like, I want to be able to change my mind about certain things. So, who knows? Maybe deep down the PvPers how to revive it are right, but I doubt it. But yeah, no, the Pop-Tart. Well, here's the thing about Pop-Tarts. I used to like them in, like, high school and stuff. Just eat Pop-Tarts for breakfast, but at this point in my life, I think the last time I ate a Pop-Tart was like 3 years ago.
See, I have a box of them in my cupboard right now.
They're good, but there's wait. Have you ever had the Pop-Tart bites? Those little, like, bagged.
No, I didn't know those existed. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, I've never bought them. I was just curious since you're a Pop-Tart fan, if you had them.
I'm like a normal person. I just know what's good, you know?
Yeah.
And brown cinnamon sugar Pop-Tarts are good.
So do you eat your toasted Pop-Tarts with milk?
Disgusting. No.
What?
I hate milk.
Oh my God. So now I am really confused how you like brown cinnamon sugar so much, because I feel like, okay, that would be really good with a cold glass of milk.
Maybe, but, like, I don't like milk.
Are you lactose intolerant slightly, or?
Yeah, kind of. I can't digest, like, a lot of food. I have to be...
Yeah. Aren't, like, most humans
wary
kind of like lactose intolerant to an extent?
Probably. I think I've read that somewhere, but again, maybe we're just talking out of our butts. I don't know. But there's like complex sugars in a lot of food that are called FODMAPs, and that's like an acronym, and like there's a bunch of like big words in that. And I have to be very careful about those. So like 2 foods that I cannot eat, or else it will make me violently ill, are onion and garlic, which is like the seasoning in like pretty much everything, and they're amazing and taste really good. But I can't eat them,
Oh
and
God.
the older I get, the worse it gets.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
so
you.
sorry.
Thank you.
I had a friend that was allergic to pineapple. Pineapple used to be my favorite fruit, and so I felt so
Oh,
bad
it
for
is
them.
good fruit. It is good fruit. Like a fresh cut pineapple
Yeah.
that's like juicy.
Yeah. On shish kebabs, we would make little shish kebabs with like
Ooh,
steak
that
things.
sounds good too.
Yeah, that's kind of I have gone through phases of like being really just my stomach does not want milk. Milk's one of those iffy things, especially like, oh my God, if the milk smells strange in any form, even if it's completely fine, just even if the rim of the lid just smells a little sour because it's just crusted up milk, nope, it's gone.
Yeah, same.
I like if a milk's about a week to expire, I pretty much just won't even drink it. It needs to be like.
Or like, do you even buy milk then? Because I feel like they only have a week.
We
Unless
have
you drink like whole.
Walmart here. Well, I will switch between 2% and whole milk. I love whole milk, but I tend to just get 2. I grew up on 1%, but
I grew up on 1% too. Or no, I didn't grow up on 1%. I grew up on skim milk, which is basically water.
yeah,
That's probably why I hate
see-through.
it. But we had to do that because I was too fat as a baby.
Yeah, we always had 1%, and then I went over to my friend's house and I was like 10, and he had whole milk, and I was like, oh my God, like this is amazing. This tastes so good. Ice cold whole milk is so good. But yeah, the milk here at the grocery store, like I mean, we'll get it and it'll be good for 3 weeks. It won't expire for 3 weeks. It's amazing. But yeah, I've lived in places where the milk, all of the lids or all of the little things say it expires in a week, or even worse. I lived in Houston for a while, and there was this one like Walmart, and I swear every single milk was expired just by a day. I'm like, what the hell are you selling? You can't sell it. Like, what are you doing? But I guess it's illegal because it's like it says best by a certain day, so it's technically not expired. But like, geez. But yeah, I'm not into it. The really sad thing is I'm not into cereal anymore either. Cereal and Pop-Tarts just don't appeal to me anymore. Really sad.
I love cereal.
I used to that was like my preferred dessert. Like seriously, if it was dessert or an ice cold bowl of like Reese's Puffs, oh, I'm taking the Reese's Puffs.
See, I can't eat peanut butter anymore. I don't like peanut butter. I will eat a peanut butter cookie every once in a while, but I don't like peanut butter because when I was in high school, I didn't have any friends. Weird, imagine. And the way I had lunch was I would go to the art room where I had a loaf of bread and a jar of peanut butter stashed, and I just eat peanut butter sandwiches. And I did that for like a year, and now I can't eat peanut butter anymore.
You know what, Laine? I think the people, the kind of more loner people in high school end up being the cooler people growing up. Like if the popular kids in high school, they all turn out weird. But like,
sick.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Okay. Okay, we'll go on to Tasty's question. Shout out Tasty. He is going to be the biggest thing on Twitch in a minute. He asks, where will RuneScape be in 5 years, and will old school PS2 games become viable streaming alternatives, or become a viable streaming alternative?
I feel like RuneScape's not like going anywhere. Like people have been saying for ages, like this game's gonna die. It's not dying.
Yeah.
It ebbs and flows, but I really don't think it's gonna die ever.
Me neither.
That's what I gotta say about that. That's it.
Okay, I have an extension to that. My extension question is, when do we stop playing? And I asked Defy this. Maybe I asked Whale. I can't remember. But when do we stop playing old school? Like, is there we are the first generation to ever have this game in our lives, and so we don't know. We can't see from past generations like what happens. But like, when does this all end?
I think you got to stop playing when it like greatly affects your real life and like it's getting in the way of your real life goals. It's really hard to stop playing this silly little game. I think. But if you can't balance like the game and your real life, like then you got to pick your real life over the game. But I don't know when we all stop playing it.
Yeah,
If you've got that
without the
balance, you
problems.
might play it until you're an old person.
That's
and
what I'm thinking.
Die.
I'm like,
and then like we have to figure out how to pass down our accounts.
see, I think to myself, okay, 5 years from now, I'm 30. I'm still gonna be playing this, and I'm gonna be streaming. 5 years from then, 30. Then I'm gonna be 35. 5 years from now, it's like keep counting down 5 years. Like, at what point do I stop? Because I mean, obviously, I'm like different because like now I do this as my thing. Like I play RuneScape as my job, but like, which is beautiful. But
yeah, that's really fun. I wish I could do that, but I can't do that.
Yeah, it feels kind of weird. Like I believe you could do it, but you have things. You are just a talented individual. You could do whatever you want, I think.
I can't what's the word? Balance, like, because I'm in law school.
Exactly my point. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, so I think I have always tried to maintain a level of streaming that I could continue to do my real life stuff.
Yeah.
And like the streaming wouldn't like be affected by it. So that's why I only stream 3 days a week, because that's a very like I think easy structure and schedule to maintain.
Yeah.
I can't do the like 5 days a week. First of all, like you're again back to mental health. Can't imagine. Holy shit.
Yeah. Now it definitely is like something where like you do it for long enough, like you just stream, and you're like, if you do it a lot, yeah, it can burn out really bad. And also the other thing is like you're throwing a lot of eggs into one basket, which I have if you consider that a problem or not, if anybody considers that a problem or not, I love throwing all my eggs into one basket. So like, it's,
and that's scary.
Yeah, but I think I've always been a risky individual just growing up. I just am very spontaneous in a way. I can just kind of do whatever. Maybe I'm just a guy that just I don't have I'm not caring for anybody. I can just do whatever I want. But yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think RuneScape will be dying. And honestly, at least streaming wise, I'm pretty sure if the game did hypothetically die or just something horrible happened, we would all migrate to a different version of the game or something, and everything would be fine.
I don't think like a terrible thing could happen because they've already experienced that once.
Yeah. And look, everyone's
like,
everyone's migrating back to the game anyway, so apparently it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. That's true. Well, yeah.
We'll all hop to like old school, and then like 8 years down the road of that, we're like, all right, let's just go back to normal old school again, because we forgot about,
about the terrible things.
Yeah.
Whatever terrible things those may be.
Do you think PS2 games will become a viable I mean, that's clearly...
I didn't understand, like, he's a very memey person, so I just thought he tacked it on for a giant meme. Like, what the hell? I guess there's cross-platform with Steam, but I just took that as like a huge joke.
I was a PlayStation 1 kid, not a PlayStation 2 kid. I was a PlayStation 1 into GameCube.
Okay.
That was my thing.
Okay. I love GameCube, so I love Zelda games in addition to RuneScape, but I haven't played any, so I don't have any consoles because they're expensive.
I was Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot was my Zelda.
Classic.
Was my Zelda. Like people's childhoods are Zelda most of the time. I just can't relate. I'm Spyro, Crash.
Yeah, that's definitely a PlayStation thing.
Yep.
Like not Nintendo. And I was Mario, Zelda, and what's the other thing? I can't think. I have no clue. Carry on.
I'm trying to think too. I loved Mario Party 5.
Super Smash Brothers.
Yep, that was another game where it didn't feel like me. It felt like other people's childhoods were Smash Bros. And I would play it with them, and they were super into it. And I was like, I'm just not a...
Yeah, there's like or at least there was. I don't know if it's still going on, but there's like a whole competitive scene for Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Specifically, Smash.
A
Like,
lot of
like,
Melee, the GameCube
yeah,
version.
Melee. Yeah, that word.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some drama on it too. Where did I hear that? Somebody was
Yeah, there
actually
was some drama.
Yeah, there's like bad drama, but yeah, I've heard of that as well. Like there's a huge Melee scene, and there's like money in it somehow, but crazy.
Yeah, there's like huge games
Yeah.
and like sponsorships and things.
Do you play chess by chance, or like just care about it
I do
in
not,
any way?
but I know that chess is like everywhere right now.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
everybody's
huge.
burnt from RuneScape and playing chess.
Yeah, no, chess is huge. Like I see, like it's seriously like within
Chess
the past few
and
months.
CS:GO.
Yeah, I never was. Is that like making or like is that? I don't even know if that's made a comeback in a way, or like it's just always been big.
I feel like it's always been big, but like for the RuneScape community that's like moving to chess, I feel like I see a lot of them moving to CS:GO right now because of that big burn that everyone's feeling.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. I am terrible at shooty tooty games, is what I call them.
I love shooting games, but I feel like I'm not on the level of some people, and I really like to be good at games, and so like like
me too. I'm very competitive.
Yeah, and it's not like I'm terrified of like just being bad for a bit and then getting better, but like it just doesn't appeal to me to play a game right now that I would be bad at initially. It's just like I can't be asked. But I used to play Call of Duty all the time as a high schooler, middle schooler. But yeah, I've always been a competitive person. Like Guitar Hero, I'd have everybody played Guitar Hero. Everybody in my school played Guitar Hero, and we'd have fundraisers at our middle school, and they would like set up a big projector where kids could play Guitar Hero for like on a Friday during lunch or something.
Aww.
And it was basically like the loser of the challenge like moves, like the winner stays basically. Yeah, I'd stay there all lunch. I was so good. I kid you not. I'm so good at Guitar Hero. And well, I'm not on like God tier level, but yeah.
Yeah, but you were good enough in your high school.
Yeah, if you were good, middle school. High school, there was our high school had like 4 middle schools like lead into it. And yeah, it was like, okay, now there's genuine competition. I can't pull this off anymore, but I was still really good. All right. Let's see. Let's kind of go back to this. Landon Chase asks, what do you consider to be a good raid? We kind of already covered this, but I'm just going to ask.
We have kind of already. And this is, I think I referenced this guy's Twitter tweet, like click boss style. Like it sounds boring when the way he describes it, but I think that's the better version. And that's just my opinion, obviously. And everybody has their own opinions on it. And I feel like we already kind of discussed it. Yeah.
Well, do you have any topics that you would like to discuss? Something that's been on your mind for the game or anything, or what? I have a couple more questions afterward, but I want to hear your. Like, do you have any topics you'd like to?
Not like you suggested to me last night to think about it, and I
know it's hard. Like I just say it just in case there's something that's been on your mind. But yeah, if you're just trying to think of something, don't even worry.
I got nothing.
Okay, so I have a few questions. One of the questions is, and I kind of ask like a lot of people, I guess, but like, what is, if you could bring one thing into the game or like have your own update, like what would it be? And I guess you could just make it simple, just say Raids 3, but like, if you could have anything come into the game next week.
Can I like mull that over maybe when we can talk about other things and see what comes up? Because as of right now, like I'm a pretty easygoing person. I don't need things like I can tell you what I would like to not happen to change, but that's only because I'm very selfish and I don't want to do it. So I was looking at the tweets. I don't know if you've refreshed your Twitter post at all.
Oh, I don't think I have.
But one, like I'm in RuneScape and I'm mining sand, and somebody in my CC was like, "Laine, I tweeted."
Is it PSAX?
It's PSAX.
Shout out PSAX.
Yeah, shout the fuck out.
Yeah, I just refreshed. All right.
Yeah. And he mentioned alting, Ironman alting, and he mentions it because I recently showed him like he did 1,200 demonics to get his Zenites, and he only had one in 1,200. And then I showed him how I've been doing demonics, which is on my main account. Like you tank basically everything, and then the Iron Man does the busy work. And I just don't want like I know that there have been updates to fix kind of the Iron Man. What's the word that everybody calls integrity or something? I don't mind that at all. Like I don't mind like that they want to change it so that you can't Slayer alt for an Iron Man, but I just don't want that to come out yet because
just get your last two Zenites.
So bad. Yeah. They suck so bad.
I love demonics and the original.
Yeah, and you said that earlier, and I was like, "You're a psychopath." Nobody
I don't know
loves
what
those.
it is. I don't know what it is about it. I think they're just like. It must have just been maybe it's nostalgia at this point because I used to kill them on my main when Monkey Madness 2 came out in 2016 before I ever started my hardcore journey. But like, yeah.
You were a hardcore?
Yeah, on this account and my last one that got banned.
What the hell? How'd you die?
I died on this account to 3 black demons in the catacombs.
In the
I had a black demon task at like 1,300 total, and I had very few prayer pots, and so I just went in there and one tick flicked, and I just DC'd, and then of course the prayer was off.
Sad.
It was no big deal. I always wanted to be an Iron Man, and it was just I burnt out. I was like really toasted for like 2 weeks. I'll admit. I was like, oh fuck, but it ended up being a good thing.
Yeah, I feel like if I die, and I'm sure I'll die, it's just a matter of when. I'll be really sad for a while.
Yeah, it's depressing, but if you choose to move on, you can move on. That's what I chose. I was like, I'm not remaking for the third time.
No, yeah, definitely. I'm never remaking. Like the choice then is going to be like, am I going to keep it an Iron Man or am I going to make it an alt?
Yeah.
Like because they're not changing like main alt, at least to my knowledge. Or like if I ever want to max, I'll have like a TOB alt first. And while I'm max on the other account. Anyways, what were we talking about? I don't remember.
Iron Man alting. So you're okay with it changing, but yourself and I have my own selfish desires. Trust me. Like.
Yeah. I'm totally okay with it. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand that why people want it done. I don't care at all. I just selfishly don't want it done until I've gotten all the Zenites.
Yeah. And that's kind of how
I just hate demonics.
Yeah, and that's how RuneScape goes. You abuse what's in the game for like you take advantage of what you can until it gets fixed. And so
Yep.
Yeah. He also so he says I guess we've already covered this. Trains and Golden Hat Gan. That was supposed to be gang, but
yeah.
Let's see. So he asks, what are your opinions on Iron Man alting? Some methods are deemed okay while other methods are frowned upon. So Mod Arcane, he was on the Sae Bae Cast like 3 casts ago. He was just explaining that he's already dev'd a bunch of changes to things. One of them was Corp. That's been changed now. And there's no like perfect way to solve it, like because people were like, "Oh my gosh, now we're being ragged by other Iron Men." That's just harassment. You just ban them.
Yeah, and that's like I feel like it's a normal part of the game.
Yeah,
like you shouldn't be able to get away from that. If you do, then it's again catering to the
and
Iron
you can
Man.
like I think harassment is a bannable offense. So if you're just going around harassing people, but I can still see it's still an MMO, so like. You got to deal with people, not just make the whole thing an instance single player game. So
exactly.
But he's gonna come out with more. One of them is Nightmare to kind of remove the I talk about Nightmare enough, but on other casts. But they're fixing that, and then he's fixing Slayer alting is gonna be one of those things which a lot of people hate me for advocating, but.
Yeah, I don't care.
The cool thing is they can like make, and again, it's catering to Iron Man, but getting rid of this, they can make updates that make Slayer a little bit more viable, like cannonballs. They're trying to think of a way to get Iron to have more cannonballs or at least some sort of form of them to lure stuff.
Okay. Yeah, because right now that's pretty garbage.
Yeah.
Acquiring.
Yeah. And then he asks, what has been your least favorite skilling grind? Where did you develop these strings of curse word? Okay, well,
Yeah,
we'll go to
I
the
swear a lot.
let's curse word bursts. What are those, Laine?
If you ever subscribe to my Twitch channel, it's
Fuckity
me. Yeah, it's me saying fuckity a whole lot in the Inferno. Just like that's my sub alert. And like my expletives, there are some expletives I really do not like, and I don't like to use them at all. One of them is bitch. I really hate that word.
Oh, really? I love that word.
And I really hate slut.
I love
is
that
actually,
word too. God damn it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think they're terrible words. But fuck, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, go ahead, say that one. So I try not to use those. But
at least you have a
lately
filter. I don't even have a filter. Just saying.
One of my favorites is shitting tit. And lately I've been saying holy shitting fucking tit cock. Like, I don't know. Like it just comes out. Like,
yeah.
I don't even know if that's the correct one. But like it's just like
these little combos you come out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used
combo.
Now that you say that, I think I used to have some combos back in middle school.
Yeah,
but
middle school, great. You're comparing me to middle school.
No, I used to have no. I mean, maybe I still have combos. I like to say God fucking damn it, but that's not really a combo. It's just
no. That's not. That's like a normal.
Yeah, that's like a normal combo. That's not a silly combo.
Mine don't make sense, and like mine recently have involved cocks and shit, which is not great.
Okay. Yep. And the other thing is, what has been your least favorite skilling grind?
So like I said earlier, I don't skill at all on my main account pretty much. Like if you look at it, you would think, like if you just look at the stats, you'd think, oh my god, this is like a mom's credit card Chad account who bought the account. I don't know. And then you scroll down and then you get even more confused when you look at the boss Casey. And it's just a weird account. I don't like skilling. I don't like skilling at all.
What is it about skilling? Is it just the boring monotonous?
Yeah, boring monotony. I don't like that. And I don't. I used to say this. I was like, I don't play RuneScape a whole lot. When I play it, I want to be able to enjoy it. And Hanner, if you know Hanner, she says this too. Like, when she plays the game, she wants to have fun. She wants to do things that are fun. She doesn't want to do like the boring things.
Yeah.
And when I have limited time doing it, I want to do like fun things. And now I find on my Ironman, I don't mind it so much because it's all part of the like
journey,
the grinding.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when people ask, they're like, "Laine, are you ever gonna max?" Honestly, I used to say absolutely not. And now I can say if I were to max, it would probably be on this stupid Ironman.
Yeah.
More than
there's more reward that comes from it because like skilling as a main, there's hardly any reward.
Yeah, there is hardly any reward, though it's way easier. Like I can just buy a 99 and then have it in the bank and get it eventually, which I've done for a couple of them. But yeah, I think crafting is probably the shittiest. Skill, which is what I've been doing this whole time, is I've been mining sand, 3-ticking it for the most part. So I'm at 17k sand, which is good, but it's all shit. Everything's shit.
I love crafting. I have 55 mil crafting on mine.
Well, we've already established you're a psychopath, so this makes sense.
I'm not
unsurprised.
And I'm not even a skill. Like I am not even truly a skiller.
Yeah, okay, you're maxed. You're a max.
When you see, but when you see true skillers, I look like a peasant compared to like.
That's true. Like some people like make it look really cool, with their tick manipulation.
Yeah,
but
I like the kind of micro, skilling where like you just do something really cool for like an hour, but like like super long grinds and just skilling forever. It's not my strong suit.
Yeah.
but I can find beauty in skilling.
I'm glad
choose
you
to.
can find beauty in it. I don't think I do.
I choose. It's a conscious decision to find beauty in it because it's definitely not something you can just find. Well, shit. Who? Okay, I just have like one more kind of thing, and it's mainly just shout outs, but like who would you like to kind of shout out for just like stream wise? Are there any like Twitch names that just very supportive to your stream and you just want to give a shout out for being there?
Like streamers or like
I guess streamers,
Twitters?
viewers, supporters of your own stream. Like who are the people that were just there that are just the homies, you know? Like,
oh man, I have so many homies.
yeah, I don't want you to feel like, you know, you're forgetting people, but you can just list a few, and the other people that you don't list will just know that you meant them. But
like, I don't want to list any of them because I don't want any of them to feel
okay,
left out.
yeah, that's how I feel.
But the homies know who the homies are. Yeah. They're the ones who stay up. Like last night, we've been watching Twilight in the Discord. And those who can make it. And last night we finally finished the series, and it's trash. It's absolute garbage, but it's a lot of fun. Those are the homies. The homies are the ones who, before I even start the stream, are already there, ready to say hi and are excited. And like that's how I knew that streaming like was working out for me, was because people knew my schedule and were waiting in the Twitch chat for me to go live. It's like, awesome. Oh wow, this is sick. And they're so nice and sweet and kind, and I love them.
Internet people are like, people you meet online are like seriously the most amazing people. It's like
they definitely can be.
Yeah,
they definitely can be. The homies know who the homies are, and they are my true friends.
Okay. And the other question is, like streamers wise, who do you think has had the most influence in your life, as in like maybe helping you to start streaming, or has given you advice, or you just love their streams? Or
early wise, Shapurka, she doesn't really stream RuneScape anymore.
Yeah, I used to watch her OG streams, yep. Her KBD streams, and her Giant Mole streams.
I think those were before my time.
Yeah,
I don't remember those at all.
I love those. I loved old Shapurka.
Yeah. I love new Shapurka too.
Yeah, okay, yeah, go ahead. No, I still love her. I choose to watch old school streams, and unfortunately, but yeah, I still love her.
Yeah. Same. Like, Framed, he like helped me get started, I think, in the streaming sort of community, because I was in a video or two, I don't remember, which was helpful to the growth of my channel. And he's just a nice guy to hang around with. Yeah,
he's very chill.
Yeah, he is very chill. And SparkMac, I don't really know if he knows I exist, but
he does know I exist. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I went into a stream. Yeah? I went into a stream and it was like pre-grats on maxing. This is just a few days ago. And he said, hey, good luck, or you have a Nightmare streamer. Good luck on Nightmare. And so he knows who I am. He must have watched Behemoth or something. I swear he's never been in my chat, but I feel that's SparkMac. That's the OG SparkMac saying he knows me. That's real shit.
Yeah, you got to shout out SparkMac. And Adwam is a great streamer. I really like Adwam.
I love the egg.
Yeah, he's great. He doesn't really stream anymore, but you know, when he does, it's always a laugh. And lately I've been hanging out in Coxie's stream a lot.
Shout out Coxie. I feel like okay. No, keep going.
No. You go.
I want Coxie on the Sae Bae Cast, but I had a ramble. I mean, I did, and then the whole drama thing came up like the very next day.
There's a drama thing?
Just his clicking incidents. I'll just say that.
What about it?
What? You didn't hear that?
No, I was there. I watched it.
No, I made a ramble on it, just explaining my viewpoints. It was nothing bad, but I just feel like after that, I think Coxie was just on edge with the whole thing, and then I made a ramble about it. So the whole thing just been kind of tense. But I mean, we're still like good. I mean, at least I'm good with
Okay.
it. We're on good terms, but
Okay.
I just feel like the whole thing got a lot more tense because basically everyone's like, when are you going to be on the Sae Bae Cast? And the day later, the incidents happen. I'm like, oh God, like, when's he going to be on the Sae Bae Cast now?
That's unfortunate.
I love Coxie. Clearing out the air. I want Coxie on the Sae Bae Cast, and I love Coxie. So anyway,
Yeah, he's a really good guy, and I've been really impressed with how he handles different situations that I've witnessed him experience in his stream. And I think he's done so in a really well and respectable way, and that's gained more of my respect. So I think he's a really good guy. And I've seen people like harass him still, and it's been ages since Coxie Clicks or whatever. And like, honestly, motherfuckers, just move on, okay?
Yep.
Just fucking move on.
And I feel like I can relate to Cox. I mean, I can't relate to the exact situation, but I once cheated, and I got permanently banned on my account. Yep, I auto-clicked Alex on my first ever hardcore, perm banned, and I felt this horribleness where I went back to the clan on this brand new account. Like, that was a hardcore initially. Everyone just fucking hated my guts for, this is before I was a streamer or anything, and like I feel that like just crappiness when you fucked up, but it's just like you want people to move on, but it's not your decision for anybody to move on. So it's just like you just kind of sit there and you're like, I just have to take this. So I feel like I understand Coxie more than people might think, but but yeah, it's a video game at the end of the day, and he is, he's moved on. So
and he's like, okay, guys, we get it.
Yeah,
I get it. Like, I mean, from his perspective, like, he doesn't condone his actions, but he's like also not hiding them.
Yeah.
And I think, I just think people need to move on. And then you're going to have people blow up, whatever. This is another can of worms.
Open it.
Yeah.
Let me smell it.
Open it. Fucking okay. So, because then you've got the people saying, oh, but he's a streamer, so he gets privilege, and they're not going to ban him for it. But like, and then there's the 1013 thing, and like, it's just people see what they want to see, and I wish they fucking wouldn't. Like, just like go into things with an open mind, and too many people just like have closed fucking minds don't think for themselves.
Were you in my stream when I quote unquote scammed a Tebow?
No.
Okay. Well, we won't really get into it, but people that know. Maybe I'll talk about it more. But yeah, it's that thing where it's like, it's when something's posted on Reddit, they will take whatever side they initially choose, and there is no convincing them otherwise. It's just like they will die.
It's a
on that
hive
hill.
mind. It's such a hive mind, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah. But you just have to ignore it. It's just like, as a streamer, you just gotta ignore it
as best you can. But like, sometimes they won't let you ignore it. Like,
yeah.
I have tried so hard to like not say any, like, to keep my head low, because I can't handle the stress of like saying what, like, sometimes what I really want to say, and like calling people out in the way I want to call them out, because like I just don't have the time or the energy to like defend myself against.
Exactly. The internet is like, it's almost impossible to defend yourself on the internet. It's just like, whatever. Yeah. The good thing is that when you are the streamer, like, you do have your audience that you can defend yourself, which is really nice. Like, I feel like my rambles or something where it's like, I can just speak my mind and people can listen. I don't have to have like somebody yelling over me to like, I can't ever get my point across, but
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I finished all my opal. I made a bunch of opal necklaces because I want to thieve Vires and I want to thieve elves in the future with the new spell. So
why?
Made a bunch of dodgy necklaces. Well, they're going to turn into dodgy necklaces.
Okay.
So I had to make those for the dodgy necklaces. They're really good, by the way. When you thieve, you should use dodgy necklaces. They're really nice.
When I got my early Ironman cash, I only played LMS and sold the rune arrows, and now that's been adjusted. See, I have no like problem like using the system. So now you can't do that anymore. Yeah. So my thieving level is 60, and everyone's pretty shit on this, like, where I'm at on an Ironman. It's pretty fucking shit. I've been 3 and then I'm at 18K.
I was a very strange Ironman. Like, fishing was my last skill, which is usually people's first. and
Yeah.
then or my last 99, and then
Yeah,
thieving.
you're an efficient dude. How is fishing your last one? I would have thought that you would have like
Yeah.
two-tag barbarian fish and what the hell?
No, fishing was my last one, and thieving was like my third to last one. Like I just never. I hated
Weird.
thieving. I always hated
Well,
thieving.
I guess again you are a sociopath.
Yeah,
So.
literal sociopath.
Yeah.
All right, Laine. It was an absolute pleasure. I am honestly so happy that you chose to be on the Sae Bae Cast, and I hope you enjoyed it. I mean, we almost hit the 3-hour mark. Are you surprised at any? Are you surprised at how long you went?
I'm shocked. Genuinely shocked.
Do you have anything to say to future Sae Bae Cast guests? Like, because I get a lot of people that come on and say, I don't think I'm going to be able to talk for more than an hour. Like, do you think was it easy? Was it hard to talk for more than an hour? Or are you?
No, it turns out you're a really easy person to talk to.
Oh, shit.
Like one-on-one, and it worked.
Well, I'm glad.
It's just like chatting with one of the boys, so it's fine.
Well, thank you for being on, and I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Definitely a pleasure to hear from a girl. I know it's a bunch of dudes listening. Listen, my YouTube audience is literally 0.4% girls, so there's a bunch of dudes listening right now. Probably like 3 girls listening total. But next week, I'm not sure who's going to be on the Sae Bae Cast just yet, but we're going to find somebody. And by the way, just a few announcements. The Sae Bae Cast is officially back on Spotify, except there's 2 Sae Bae Casts on Spotify now because the other one's not deleted. So there's literally, if you search Sae Bae Cast, there's 2 of them. And one of them only goes up to episode 12, and the other one's the official one that now has all the episodes. So subscribe on there. I'll have a link in the description. And Laine, I'm going to have your Twitch in the description, your Twitter, and what else do you want me to link?
That's it. I don't share my social media because people are wild.
All right. Well, I'll link your Twitter and Twitch. And thanks again so much, Laine. I really do appreciate it because I like talking to people, and I love the Sae Bae Cast. Can talk one-on-one. No, no filter, no certain points that we need to hit. It's just nice. So anyway,
Thank you
guys for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.